Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, episode 110. Tonight, we're talking about a new Pokemon, a very special new Pokemon. We're going to be talking about Skyrim coming to the Nintendo Switch. Our AI was right. It predicted the future. And answering your community-submitted questions and topics. And we're joined by special guest, Seth, to talk about casting for movies that Nintendo could make in the future. We're talking all of that and more. Well, greetings, fellow Nintendo pals. My name is Andros. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Nintendo Pals Podcast, the show all about Nintendo and friendship. And I'm joined each and every week by my fellow Nintendo pal, Micah.
Yup.
That was the quietest yup I think you have ever done. Just yell it right into the mic.
I got a little something stuck in my throat as I started it, so it came out a little quiet.
And we are also joined by a super special guest returning for the 4th, 5th, 6th. Who knows how many times he's been here? He's been here a lot because he's the best. It's $2 Hero, a.k.a. Seth Sturgill.
Hi. Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, this is probably time number like 4 or something like that. I don't know. Somewhere around there.
Yeah, and then we've been on casts. We've guested on casts together at the same time. We've been on your cast. It all kind of blurs together. But Seth is joining us from All In, a Nintendo podcast. So check out his stuff over there. And recently joining the Carpool Gaming Crew as a co-host on the Nintendo Drive.
Yeah, that's right. That's brand new. That just happened this past week. We haven't even done our first week. Just earlier today, as we're live, we did kind of like an AMA. It was me, Sean, and Locklith, the 3 kind of like new co-hosts of the new Nintendo Drive, and we kind of did like an AMA stream and kind of hung out. And we're recording our first episode of that on Tuesday. So
nice,
very excited.
Yeah, Seth has been you've been guesting over there for a bit for the last little while, and then coming on. I failed my audition when I was on, so they didn't bring me. Sean hasn't brought me back on, and that's fine. You know, understandable.
We'll have to have you back. I think I have some pull over there now. Grease some palms over there, and
yeah, that's right. It was all part of the plan. It was all part of the plan. Oh, but man, that's super cool. Definitely check out. I'm a huge fan of the Nintendo Drive. Also a huge fan of All In Nintendo Podcast.
Thank you.
And it's not just a podcast. Seth has a YouTube channel that is fantastic content, ranging from really awesome scripted, like I don't even know what you'd call those,
like video essays.
Yeah, that's what they're called. Video essays, game reviews, and more. Hodgepodge of Nintendo stuff. All great.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I really appreciate it. And I will say too, it's you find yourself in like a weird spot when you're, because obviously Kato, the previous co-host of Nintendo Drive, had to step away. Sadly, all the love and respect to her. And I will say too that if anybody here, I imagine that there's probably a lot of cross-pollination with like our audiences and our communities and things like that. The new Nintendo Drive is going to be very, very different. I'll just say that. It's going to be a very, very different show. So look forward to it.
It's going to have a lot more beard.
Infinitely more beard than there was before. Yeah. I mean, you know.
Kato tried. She just couldn't compete with Seth.
she couldn't have the beard.
She couldn't do it. She tried her best. But Kato's awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. We'll probably talk more about content creation and your escapades and that in our post
Yeah.
show, which is available for people that are watching live on Twitch or checking out where that is stored is on our Patreon, patreon.com/Nintendo Pals, where for as little as $3 a month, you can support the show and get access to exclusive stuff like Nintendo Pals Plus, the show after the show. But I kind of jumped ahead here a little bit. Micah, I got to ask, how the heck are you?
I'm pretty good.
Nice. Anything new and exciting happening for you?
Nope.
Well,
Just nope.
Just got my water.
Nice.
I usually don't, so it's kind of new.
There you go.
That
That's
is
exciting.
true. That is true. Usually, when someone redeems hydrate on
Just
stream,
have to fake it.
It's he's or it's really nasty old water.
Oh,
knows how
And
long
I
it's been
usually
out there.
fake it.
I drink so much water, y'all. It's bad. You'll see me guzzling bottles of water all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. And if you want to see guzzling bottles of water, you gotta watch the video version of the podcast, which is available on YouTube under the Nintendo Pals podcast YouTube channel, and also on Spotify, where you can watch the video version of the podcast. It's awesome. We were one of the first podcasts to have access to the video format, and it's cool. I have a lot of fun with it. What was I going to say? Oh, Micah. So before I jump in like any further here, you said you got nothing new and exciting going on.
Nope.
Uh,
Except for maybe one thing.
what? Yeah, what are you up to? November first weekend in November.
First weekend of November.
Yeah.
Let me check my calendar real quick. It's not as fast to check as I thought it would be.
I was like, this is a good.
He's committed to the bit.
I know. I was
Yeah.
like, this is a lot for this little bit we're doing here.
Yeah, I will be flying someplace.
Oh, where?
So he's busy, is what he's saying.
Yeah,
busy.
I'll be
Sorry.
busy.
Yeah.
Did
Can't
you have
pencil you
plans?
in.
Yes, I had plans. I think they might be the same plans that you have. That's right,
I
everybody.
don't think so.
We have a huge announcement here. Micah and myself and stream manager Mugglemoo are going to the live in-person Extra Life event held in Rome, New York, and that is the first weekend in November. We will also be attending DadCon 2022. And
Yo.
DadCon is a meetup that is being done by the Nintendo Dads at the Nintendo New York store Friday, November 4th. So anybody that wants to come hang out, meet us in person that's in that area, come do it. We'll be there on the 4th, chilling. Micah gets bottom bunk, says the Nintendo Dads.
You got to take the bottom bunk. I really want to go. I would like to go. I'm going to try to figure that out. That would be nice. I would just, because all my friends are going.
Yeah, we got to get you out there. Everybody go check out patreon.com/allin.
Right.
Help fund Seth's trip.
Yeah.
But we're very excited to make this announcement. This is kind of a big deal for us. Very excited to finally do like an in-person like meet and greet with people and to be invited by the Nintendo Dads to hang with them there. We should have made like a Smash Bros. Reveal trailer, like Nintendo Dads cross Nintendo Pals. You know, like they did with like, yeah. We'll get on that eventually. Someone will make that.
Yeah,
Probably a couple months
maybe.
after the event's over.
After the event's already over. Yeah.
But we're very excited. Yeah. So if you are in the area, New York, in either let's see, if you're in New York, at the Nintendo store in that area, we will be there the 4th of November. And then on Saturday, we will be at the Extra Life event, which is hosted by the Phoenix Overdrive Extra Life team. And we were invited to that by our good buddy Sean Capri. And I mean, it's a big event. It is open to people to join. So look that up, the Extra Life event, Phoenix Overdrive, and you can sign up to go. We'd love to meet and see people out there if they're in the area. I know we got a lot of listeners on the East Coast and some in that area, so that'll be really fun. Hopefully we can get to meet people in real life. You guys can see how tall we are and how freakishly skinny I am.
Yes. Have y'all ever been to New York? Have either one of you guys ever been there before? Is this new?
You've been there before, right, Mike? I've never been.
I've been there once, I think. Have a sister around those parts.
Did you go to New York City proper?
Yep.
Oh.
I went to Times Square and everything.
Nice.
Not gonna lie, it's not as big as I thought it would be.
Right.
It looks
bigger in the
aren't
movies,
quite as
right?
tall as I thought. I was like, this a little shorter than I expected.
Maybe
well,
you're
just said
really
you guys
tall.
are freakishly tall. Yeah, I was
maybe,
just gonna say.
Maybe you're just like 2 stories tall. And you're like, oh, this isn't that big out here. Oh man, yeah. I'm excited to see New York in person. That'll be cool. Never been, never ever been. And so yeah, that's our big announcement for this week. But I think now we can kind of jump back into the regular swing of things. Micah, you know what we're doing tonight?
What we do almost every Friday night, I should say.
That's right. We're gonna try to take over the world of Nintendo podcasts. We do that through 5-star reviews. That's how we do it. And let me tell you, we just had our most listened to 2-week period for our podcast ever. And that is all thanks to the absolutely amazing pals that have left us 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Spotify, and Audible, and other places where you can, boost our stuff. It helps us get seen and helps more people discover the show. So yeah, big thanks to that. Interesting thing about the statistic is that while it was our most listened to 2-week period, it was not. We didn't have like our most listened to day ever. It was just consistent for the 2 weeks, where usually it's not. Usually we have like
Weird.
A spike.
Yeah.
Spike the day it comes out, and then another spike like on the weekend. But yeah, for this last 2-week period, it was like every day had consistent listens. Super cool. Thanks to everybody who's listening to our show and checking out the podcast. We this week got one 5-star review to shout out. That is a new anonymous review on Spotify. We can't. Spotify only has anonymous reviews, so we can't shout you out specifically, but you know who you are, and we appreciate you, anonymous 5-star reviewer. Thanks for doing that. We really do appreciate it. It helps us out so much. 5-star reviews are the only way that we, well, not the only way, but the biggest way that you as a listener can help support the show. But if you want to support the show beyond leaving 5-star reviews, which is totally free, by the way, free to you. You don't have to pay anything. Just go down and do it. Do it right now while we're talking about it.
So easy.
If you want to do more, not free stuff, you can support us by checking out our Patreon, patreon.com/NintendoPals, and you can also support us through Twitch. And that could also be free if you use a Prime sub. Pretty cool. So yeah, check us out. Twitch.tv/Nintendo_pals. That's us. We're doing awesome stuff over there. Not just podcasting. We're gaming. We're gaming somewhat well. Somewhat.
On occasion.
On occasion. Literally had a comment on one of our YouTube videos this week that was like, it's amazing how bad this guy is at speedrunning.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, it's amazing how dumb this comment is. Oh, got him.
Oh, snap.
I didn't
got
reply.
him.
I didn't actually reply, and
That's what you got to do, dude.
Yeah, no.
Just don't even respond to it.
We don't feed no trolls here.
Mm-mm.
Nah. And I will openly admit I'm not very good at speedrunning. While I prefer the term speed walking. I like it better. It's can go a little bit further. Don't tire out as easy, you know?
Yeah. Speed jazzercising through Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
That's much
Yeah.
more accurate. Lots of saxophone. Oh, so with that, this has been a long intro, but a good one. Let's jump into the first segment of our show and let's talk what you playing. Seth, as our guest, why don't you go first? What have you been playing lately, dude?
Oh, sure. I've been playing, well, okay, a lot of things. I just finished Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which took me just under 100 hours to finish that. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. There's still stuff to do too. Like I could go back in and,
of course.
Yeah. Yeah, but I had to get that finally done. We're reviewing, we have a review discussion of that game happening on All In. And so I wanted to make sure I got that done so I could review that game with Eric and have a nice, meaty review discussion as we are wont to do on that show. So that was really good. What up, man? I've just so much, like, it's like been a hodgepodge of stuff. Shovel Knight Dig, been playing a bunch of that. I really like that. I don't normally get big into roguelikes. I know that Andros, actually, no, I think Micah's a Spelunky fan as well, aren't you? I think we all have a mutual love of Spelunky here.
Micah's might be considered a love-hate, but it's love is in there for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty much like I have my tried and true, roguelikes that I really enjoy, like Spelunky and Hades and like Downwell and stuff, but it's pretty few and far between. Shovel Knight Dig is definitely one of them though. Like I really like it. Really anything with the Shovel Knight name, you just like, it's going to be quality, honestly. Yeah. Like they're just all good, and it's just a unique take on the formula. For me, like one of my big complaints with Pocket Dungeon, which is the like puzzle game Shovel Knight spinoff that they did last year, like you hit the ceiling of the content really quickly in that game in terms of like the relics and stuff that you can find. This one, they're way better about that. There's just more to like see and do, I feel like, in Shovel Knight Dig. It's got like some of the most gorgeous pixel art I've ever seen. The music is incredible because it's still Jake Kaufman from the base game doing the music. Yeah, it's really, really good. I love it.
Nice.
And then the last one I'll shout out is this indie game called The Spirit and the Mouse, which we very graciously got a review code for it.
Yeah, you have a review for this one on the channel. Yeah.
So we did I did kind of like I guess it's a little bit like a first look of that one. Beacon Pines, we did like a full edited review. But The Spirit and the Mouse, we got the code like on launch day, but so I didn't really have time to get like a full edited review together, but I still wanted to make sure people knew about it because it's a really cool, special little game. It is like what's interesting is I'm not seeing a lot of people make this comparison, but I compare it a lot to Chibi Robo, like the original on GameCube Chibi Robo. Because it's a game like you play as this cute little mouse named Lila, and she lives in this like sleepy French village. And early on in the game, there's this spirit guardian named Lumion that's like, hey, my entire purpose is to help people, and I've been weakened by this like electric storm, and I need your help now. You have to be my new like emissary to go and help people. And the game is just all about making people happy. That's what the entire point of the game is. And
that sounds
it's
awesome.
Just like it's cute and cozy, and it kind of has like Stray vibes a little bit. The game Stray, like because you're like animal in like a big world and everything, and and like the music is really good and cozy. I love it, and I think it runs well on Switch. Like I'm just having a blast with it. Really good.
Nice.
So yeah, those are the main ones for me. There are others, but those are the ones that, I'm chipping away at Return to Monkey Island, still playing that. So I'm doing like a little bit of a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, that's more than I played this week. That's for sure. Micah, how about yourself? What have you been playing lately?
Finally played some more Rocket League. It had been a few weeks. Finally tried out the new season, and they happened to have the gridiron football mode going.
which is a
So
fun mode. Yeah.
Oh snap!
that was a lot of fun playing. Besides that, I gotta pull it up because I forget. Oh, I played a little more Metroid Dread
Nice.
for the stream where we had our Try Not to Laugh challenge, and it went
Micah was-
relatively well.
Yeah, Micah didn't laugh.
Stone face, no laughter.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Except for when Finn from Adventure Time chucked a small child over a mountain. That almost got me.
Drop kicked a small.
Was it a
child.
drop kick? Yeah, I
Yeah.
was not expecting that. That was good.
If I had just put clips of Adventure Time in, I think I would have cracked him. But
Probably Adventure Time is a great show and has
It
a
is a
lot of
great
funny
show.
clips. But besides that, still playing a pretty good amount of Splatoon 3. That's been my go-to game last couple
Yeah.
weeks.
man, I need to play more Splatoon 3. I just haven't jumped back into it this week, and it's not for lack of wanting; it's just lack of time.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's as well. Like I bought the game digitally so that I could play multiplayer with my son,
Mhm.
and his Switch got sent in for repair. It is now back, but because we have like the primaries all mixed up, can't exactly play the 2-player. It's
Oh, right.
complicated.
They
I
gotta
need to
figure that out. They
Yeah,
they have got to get that ironed out, man.
Well, I would swap back because the family Switch, which is our original, is typically marked as the primary. So all the digital
Mhm.
purchases I make, other accounts on that Switch can play it. But if I do that, then I lose the DLC to Zelda, and we are in the middle of a Zelda challenge on the other. So I've got to
yeah.
finish. I got to finish the can a 5-year-old beat Zelda before we switch the primary, so that we still have the DLC because we are using it to do the challenge. Anywho, it's complicated. Yeah, that's right. It needs to be
It's
figured out.
annoying. Just figure it out. Like Xbox has it figured out where you just like it all just works. Everything's just in the cloud and you just like it just works. Like why can't, Nintendo's got to get that figured out. Cuz dude, I'm telling you, if they had that smoothed out, I would have a Switch Lite for sure.
Mhm.
Like I would definitely have one when I'm like, because when I'm traveling or whatever, I don't want to bring my OLED with me. I would much rather have just a little Switch Lite, but it's such a pain. That's the only reason I don't have one.
Yeah, and it works pretty fine if you have just a single account.
Mhm.
But even then, like in that case, you would probably set your Switch Lite to be the primary. But it's like,
Right.
it's like I purchased it. Why does it have to check that I am connected? I bought it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
definitely my account. I'm signed in, but I think it's just to try and avoid people,
Mhm.
taking advantage of it. This is why we can't have nice things. All comes.
That's why we can't
comes
have
down.
nice things.
Yeah. So I did not play Splatoon this week. In my playlist this week, I played the new season of Fall Guys with my son. He really wanted to play Small Guys, so we played some of that. That's been fun. For stream, we did the Try Not to Laugh challenge, and I ran Breath of the Wild. I laughed twice, so I had to reset twice, but it wasn't too bad. And Micah and I did a bad job of picking things that were funny to each other, and instead picked things that were funny to ourselves. And
I
then
was
we
dying
realized
when I was playing the videos for Andros.
Yeah, and then we realized we don't have a very similar sense of short video
humor.
video
Mhm.
humor. Well, we do because we both like similar shows. I'm not into like the weird Adventure Time type cartoons, but we both enjoyed Gravity Falls,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Another classic.
which
a
is
great
also a
show,
classic
yeah.
cartoon, and we're both like fan of like Phineas and Ferb back in the day. We'd watch that. I don't know. It's weird. So I thought like, so yeah, I think
Eric and I couldn't do it either. Like my co-host on All In, Eric, like we couldn't do it either. Because we have very different senses of humor.
Yeah.
Couldn't be more different.
The problem as well, what we discovered is that when you're playing a game, it's a lot easier to
Mhm.
focus on the game, even while watching the video, and not be taken by it because your
Right.
attention is split. And also learned that some videos are not funny until you watch like 10 more warm-up videos before. And that's
Oh,
why these
sure.
like compilation videos get you on things. If you watch it in isolation, it's probably not as funny as when you watch it in this like big long like list of things. You're like,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, that's so funny. It's because you've been whittled down emotionally to the point of laughter that
Dude,
then everything's
you-
funny.
You guys should just have like the community send in a bunch of like videos and just
Oh,
field them all. And
Okay, so I guess we can. Oh, I guess we can say that is what we are going to do that as a segment during
Well, there you go.
during the extra live stream. So,
Sick.
but we're not going to play games. We're just going to have Micah and I sitting there, not distracted, and we're going to try and see. We'll maybe have like a punishment for whoever loses, and we'll see which of us. Which it's going to be me. I'm just going to come right out and say
Relatively
it.
good chance.
So make sure your videos appeal to Micah.
Right. Yep.
But yeah, we're putting up a channel in our Discord where people can submit funny
Now we
clips
just
for us
know
to
we know the
watch.
cheat codes. Just Adventure Time. Just send a bunch of Adventure Time clips, and that's the cheat
There you
code.
go.
We got it.
And yeah,
Unless I'm playing the long game.
Oh.
He's already 3 steps ahead.
Besides that, I want to shout out 2 more games. Spelunky 2. I'm still
Yeah.
playing that. I try and do
Totally
like a run.
getting that money challenge.
Yeah, I try and do like a
completed?
run or 2 a day, like a good run per day.
Mhm.
So I don't play very long, but because I'm bad, I die really fast. But yeah, and I'm enjoying it. And then I want to talk about Ooblets. I have not been playing Ooblets, but my family has been playing a lot of Ooblets. My wife has played a lot, has been playing a ton of that, and my son has also been playing a ton of that, and they really enjoy the game. I want to get back to it. So
I do too.
this is why I want to talk about it here, is because it is a great game. Just because I haven't talked about it, it's not for lack of wanting to play. It is just for lack of time and too many games. Too many
Mhm.
games, not enough time. And then I go back and play Zelda and Spelunky again, you know? Like,
And that's one of
Zelda-
those too where you need like a big, it's like a Stardew Valley
mhm.
kind of thing. You need like
Mhm.
it's one of those ongoing things.
That's my wife's main game right now. So like it is
Right.
very, very good. I think it's a fantastic game. So I just wanted to shout it out again here, as in don't forget about it. Don't sleep on that one. Yeah. And then I've gotten some griefing from like, but you're always playing Zelda. Listen, y'all, it's for the content. Zelda does well on our YouTube channel. I love the game. I'm not playing it just because of that, but variety channels, it doesn't work that well.
Yeah.
So
It's video games, y'all. Calm
Yeah.
down. It's video games. The heart wants what the heart wants. Calm down.
yeah,
It'll be all right.
No,
I won't calm down until Andros has played through Echo the Dolphin. It may take a
Well,
few more years, but eventually I'll get him to play it.
Sad to let you know that you're never going to be calm again.
Oh, snap.
Oh man, yeah, but there, yeah. So I'm not giving this to give grief back to anybody, but just explaining that. Listen, I could fill that time with more games, but then I wouldn't be streaming. Like if I streamed that variety of games, not as many people come. That's just how it works. I'm not trapped in the Zelda game because I love it, and I'm finding new ways to play and having a blast. So I like it. I like the way
I love
this
that
is.
you love it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun. I should probably look at how many hours I have in it now because I've done so many streams of it, but it's probably still not even that much. Sign into my Nintendo account again. Oh, good. You see, this is
There
what
it
I'm
is.
talking about.
There
This
it
is what I'm
is.
talking about, people.
Yep. Live on the air, finding those issues, man.
Like,
Ugh.
why does that happen? Why? But here's the hack: is I can just go and look at it from my wife's account.
Oh, there
The
you
Legend
go.
of Zelda: Breath of the Wild first played 5 days ago.
Seems legit.
Yeah, that seems right.
He's new to the game.
I'm new. It's brand new to me. Stinking Switch. I count. Anyways, I love the Switch. I don't know why I'm complaining about
It's
it.
just the one super annoying thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, my account, because I have it on like 4 Switches.
Mhm.
It's like the backup has failed. like you're gonna have to re-sign it. I'm like, no, just let me play and track my hours, please. Well, that about does it for what you're playing. So let's head into the next segment.
But before we jump into the next segment, we'd like to tell you about our sponsor.
Yes. Support for Nintendo Pals is brought to you by Manscaped.
Are you tired of not having a new Star Fox or F-Zero game? Well, same here. But you know what you can count on coming? Amazing products from manscaped.com.
Yes, so while you wait for the next Rhythm Heaven game, you can pick up the Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped. Inside, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver deodorant for down under, and the Crop Reviver toner. Plus, 2 free gifts. A pair of Performance Boxer briefs and the Shed travel bag.
Yes, and unlike the Zelda Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD ports, the Lawnmower 4.0 actually exists. And it's waterproof, so you can trim that hair even in the shower. And while you're at it, you can use the Ultra Premium 2-in-1 shampoo plus conditioner and Ultra Premium body wash to get clean.
Do you miss Golden Sun? I know Micah does. Well,
so much.
Don't worry. You can drown those sorrows by getting some sick savings with our exclusive offer at manscaped.com.
You can get 20% off plus free shipping with our code NPALS at manscaped.com. That's NPALS at manscaped.com.
You might not get the sequels you want, like Banjo-Kazooie, Mario RPG, Mario and Luigi, a good Sonic game, etc. But you can always count on Manscaped to get you the stuff you need to look your best. Thanks again to Manscaped for sponsoring this episode. And yeah, check out their stuff. We love their products. We use them. I use mine like every day. So it's great stuff. It smells good. All right, y'all.
It's a great ad read. I'm over here like, what's a haircut?
Oh man, yeah. I felt a little low taking a jab at Sonic there at the end, especially when
you didn't.
This new game's reviewing pretty well.
You
actually.
loved it.
Yeah.
I'll take Sonic
I mean,
Frontiers.
You're
hyped
right.
For Sonic Frontiers, actually.
It seems like a lot of people have been bashing on Sonic Frontiers for a while.
Yeah, but it's reviewing really well. Yeah,
that's right.
I'm
Some of us believed in
man.
it the whole time.
Oh my gosh! Did you guys see the theme song? Like the song that came out for it. They have this theme. It's like this screamo, like 2002 like emo song.
Of course
gonna be
it
the
is.
Theme. It's
Of
so
course
good.
it is.
I gotta look that up.
Oh, it's so good. Oh my gosh.
Well, speaking of theme songs, we got one to talk about in the news segment. So why don't we jump on over into the next segment of our show? Let's talk some Nintendo news. Alrighty. I guess I'll give that one first. Skipping down here in our notes. Pokemon Twitter announced that they have teamed up. Pokemon has teamed up with Ed Sheeran on a new track, Celestial, which will be featured in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Like in the game. It will be featured in the game.
Oh, really? I missed that. I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
It's like the new James Bond, man. We're gonna start every Pokemon game's gonna have a famous singer come in and do a song.
Holy moly!
This is what a world we live in. Like, if you had told me this is where Pokemon would be 20 years ago, I'd have been like, "No, you're lying." Did
y'all watch it? Did you see the music video?
I did. It's pretty good. I like Ed Sheeran.
The video was cool. I wasn't crazy about the song. I like him generally. I thought this song was just okay, but the video was cool.
It was, yeah. It's no Post Malone flying through Pokemon universes on a floating island, but
I like to believe Sonic Frontiers I'm Here, listening to
Oh
it
my
right now.
god!
This
Oh, are
is
you
a
listening
jamming
to it?
song right
Oh my
now.
gosh, it's so good. Oh man, I was like, I'm so thrilled that they're just like leaning into this.
It's
Makes me so happy.
incredible. So like dramatic.
Oh, it's so good. I love it. It's like that AMV 2002 anime music video. It's so good.
Oh man, Sonic and Zelda both have tears in the title. Coincidence?
True story. Wow.
And for those that don't catch it, Sonic Frontiers.
Mhm.
Crossover.
Oh gosh, they are trying to be Zelda with it, somewhat. Everything markets itself as Breath of the Wild nowadays. Have you noticed that? Even games that like they are not remotely like Breath of the Wild, then it's like they still market like they are Breath of the Wild.
Well,
They're-
yeah. It's when you come out like when your game is a genre defining game like that. Because I mean that's the thing. People we're in that part of the Zelda hype cycle now where people are like, Breath of the Wild's overrated. Where that's the way it always is.
yeah,
Shout out to Sam, our Sam, third strongest mole from the Retro Logic podcast. He pinpointed that. He was like, the Zelda hype cycle is a Zelda game comes out, it's the greatest thing in the world, 10 out of 10. 5 years later, you can set your watch to it. All of a sudden, now it's overrated. It actually wasn't that good, blah blah blah. And
Or the
then people
exact
always end up
opposite with Wind Waker.
yeah, it was the opposite with Wind Waker. There are anomalies. But for the most part, Skyward Sword came out 10 out of 10. 5 years later, that game's overrated. Now everybody loves it again. So
Yeah.
that's just how it is. But
Breath of the Wild. You see the thumbnails already. Breath of the Wild, not as good as you remember. All these things. It's like, listen, y'all. You had to play them when they came out for it to really make sense. I think this is the case for most games. Maybe like the last 5-10 years, you could play. You could play those games, and there's not a ton of difference. There's not been huge leaps of gaming, but like you go back to like Ocarina of Time era. You go back to
before they let you speed up dialogue.
Yeah, A Link to the Past, and it's like a lot of that is very time specific in playing it. They hold up, unlike what Micah's thinking. A lot of these games hold up.
Debatable.
Debatable, but
like part of the reason they were rated so high is they were like peak for the time period,
right? Yeah.
Little unfair to come in and be like, oh yeah, like this isn't good. I mean,
overrated, blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, well,
today's standards, yes.
5 years of other games have also come out that were, by the way, very influenced by Breath of the Wild. That's what I was saying. Like objectively, I think, regardless of how you feel about the game, it was a genre defining game. It was a moment in time, and now you're seeing other games just like that Immortals Phoenix Rising game just is Breath of the Wild. The Sonic Frontiers just is Breath of the Wild. Like that's just the nature of things, man.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. So, coming back to the story here, Ed Sheeran making a song for Pokemon. Pokemon's huge, right? Like it's no longer. Well, it really has never been a small series.
Yeah.
It just feels like it has been hype forever, but only in the last like generation or so have they started to really lean into the mainstream media for it,
right?
And especially with like getting singers to like make albums and stuff that are like they've had
becoming
albums
cool again.
Well, I don't even know if it's cool again because like in the like the upper hype of like generation 1 and 2, which I think a lot of people look at as like, oh, that was like peak Pokemon Palooza hype. And that's because, everybody talking about it is our age. And that is when you were a kid and thought it was hype. That era did not have, you didn't have singers that were like well-known current pop singer stars and icons making music and music videos for Pokemon. You didn't have like TV shows and celebrities and like people talking about your franchise. I mean, Pokemon it's not just musicians. You've got like top streamers talking about this thing. They're constantly in the news for like big Pokemon card sales. It's just like everywhere, all around. It is ingrained in modern pop culture, not just
Yeah.
it's not just for kids, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think what you saw happen was, Pokemon came out, it exploded. We were kids. We all loved it. All of our friends loved it. We're watching the anime, we're playing the games, we're buying the cards. And that never really stopped. Like it's always,
Mhm.
been popular with kids and with like the gamers who grew up with it. But now we're like in our 30s and we have money to spend a lot more money on this stuff. And we're nostalgic and sad. So we want to go and buy Pokemon cards and things again. And so that all just sort of crescendos into it being like now it appeals to, nostalgic 30-year-olds and it still appeals to the kids. So now you just got
True.
this huge swath. When we were kids, our parents were like, Pokemon, what's that? The parents of today grew up with Pokemon,
Yeah.
So
100%. That's me with
Yeah.
my kids. I'm like,
yeah, totally.
yeah, very very excited to it now. It's like something that you can do with your kids. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of an equivalent for with my parents. Like they showed me like my dad was like really in the era of like the GI Joe.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And there was like a revival of that for a bit, and when we'd watch like the movie that came out, it was like a time that you could bond on an IP that both you enjoyed. Pokemon's even more so, just because it is at every generation at this point, up until like your mid to late 30s, I guess.
Yeah. And they'll still be around when we have grandkids, it'll probably still be around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Grandkids are going to be like, Grandpa, do you know what Pokemon is? Oh, yeah, back in my day.
I was there when it first came out.
We transferred Pokemon through a cable back in my day.
We're on generation 14 now, Grandpa.
Yeah. Charizard's still top.
I just looked up some information about the original Pokemon movie soundtrack, and it apparently had a song by Britney Spears, another one by Christina
That's right.
Aguilera, and
That's right.
NSYNC.
Oh.
So I mean,
Oh my goodness! Oh, for the movie,
Micah with
yeah,
the
yeah.
research.
movie, yeah. I seem to
Yeah.
remember the Britney Spears one. I didn't realize these other two though. So I mean,
I don't
it's,
remember those
it's not
songs
totally
at all.
unheard
Were they
of,
good?
but
I don't remember
I have no
that at all.
idea. I don't remember.
Not
them.
unprecedented. Yeah.
Yeah. So it did happen then, and so what you're saying is it's like crescendoing like it did in that first era,
Mhm.
and I agree with that. Yeah, I thought it was even more so now, especially with like the Pokemon Go thing. It just became so normal for
huge.
everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what Pokemon is. So yeah, this is pretty exciting. Micah, you want to take the next news item here? I guess starting from the top. I went out of order here.
Yeah, there's a new software update for Splatoon 3 that is now available.
I
We
messed up the
changed
notes.
things, and you can find update notes somewhere if you want to look for them. But it seems like it's mostly just stability
Stability.
things. It should have fewer connection errors.
Thankfully. Yeah.
Don't remember what else, but it was mostly those things.
Are you getting a lot of those, Micah? Like the connectivity issues?
Yeah, I feel like
Me too.
I usually get like 3 every time I play. It seems like if I play for like
Yes.
an hour and a half.
I get them
Not
constantly, man.
Crazy all the time, but it's relatively common.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get a lot of them.
Mute Dog in chat says he also gets a lot of comm errors.
Yeah.
So hopefully it fixes itself.
I haven't played since this new update came out, but I was noticing it's so weird the way that works. I assume, I haven't done research, but what I think happens is I think that the like lobby system and some of that stuff runs on the new like servers, those mythical new servers that Nintendo has, but the
Mhm.
actual like connecting to each other I think is still peer to peer. And so like you get into these situations where you're connecting to other people, and if anything goes wrong, it just totally kills the connection. Communication error, you know. And that's been happening a lot. But what's funny about that is it's been very hit or miss, because I've even had people like in our community who are like, yeah, like my wife and I are playing the exact same way, exact same connection. I get no communication errors and she gets a ton of them, you know. It's super weird. It seems like your mileage may vary.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So hopefully this fixes some of that.
Next news item we got here, Chris Pratt. He came out and spoke about the new Mario trailer, which will be we talked about in previous week, will be shown at New York Comic Con beginning of October. So here soon, very soon. This is what Chris Pratt has to say about the trailer. I just saw the teaser trailer for the very first time myself. I am simply blown away. You will be too. I promise you. This one is very special. Cannot wait. # Super Mario Bros. Movie. So, I mean,
I feel like you always have to take those with a grain of salt, because
what was he going to say? It's
he's
awful.
in the movie.
Yeah,
this is bad. I made a mistake.
Listen, I've been listening to Nintendo Pals podcast, and let me tell you, I'm simply blown away.
It's really good.
It's very good. I promise
very
you,
special.
This is going to be very special. Yeah, you definitely should be checking out Nintendo Pals podcast.
Yeah,
cannot wait for this episode to go live for you to hear it.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing it, though. I am really
giving him grief. He believes in the project, which, I mean, I guess he kind of has to say that in a lot of the projects. I wonder if he had something like this for Jurassic World. I don't remember seeing things like this for Jurassic World.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
But hey, I'm glad he's not unconfident. You know, like I don't know. I have from my initial reaction to him being announced as the voice to now, I'm hopeful. I think it's going to be good.
I hope so. I think one thing that was kind of cool, it was cool to see that they had set up like the social media and stuff, like having like the Twitter account and everything set up. That to me is like, okay, they have like a little bit of confidence. Like they're planning on having an actual like social media presence. You know, that's not something you see a lot for like movies. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that means something good.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like they are putting it in a slot where it's going to be kind of standalone and hopefully not have to compete with other movies. I think that was one reason they delayed it, but I don't know for sure. That's just speculation.
Well, I did pull up some tweets that Chris Pratt made for Jurassic World, and it is kind of funny. 30 years of Jurassic legacy culminate in one epic final film. Like the fabled monsters of 65 million years ago, this film too shall rule the earth. # Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh, man.
He's even more confident about that movie.
He loved it.
Yeah, I was going to say, oh, man, maybe
I have yet to see that movie still, so I can't really judge
Me either. It. I can't speak on its quality, but
I feel like it's probably better than I've heard.
Yeah,
some people didn't grow up watching a bunch of sci-fi original movies, and it really shows.
I love it.
Yeah, because they're bad. Is that what you're
Hey, if you learn to like those, you'll like just about any movie you watch.
Oh man, this leads perfectly into the next news item since we're on the subject of Chris Pratt.
Yeah, so someone made a Chris Pratt is Mario in an Unreal Engine Super Mario Bros. 3 remake.
Yeah, it's not Super Mario Bros. 3, just Super Mario Bros.
Oh, yeah, Super Mario Bros. I don't know why I added a 3 in there. Probably because it's the best Super Mario Bros.
It's definitely your favorite.
I agree. I'm with you on that, Micah.
If everybody go out and check out the footage for this game, it's a fan project. I don't think it's like publicly available or anything. But their Chris Pratt model is so good. Like it looks photoreal.
What?
They're using
What
like
is this?
Well,
just look up.
I'm
photoreal
looking it up.
adjacent, but
Yeah,
it does
I'm
look
looking
very
it
good.
up.
I'll send you the link, Seth, because I think I sent it to Micah. But it kind of makes me go like maybe this should have been a live action movie.
Oh, here we go. I'm looking at it. Holy cow.
It is very in early stages. The developer made it clear that they were working pretty hard on it. They were not a game developer; they are an artist, and they're like, I decided I'm just going to make this. So
Not the Goomba, not the way the Goombas look. Oh my gosh.
yeah, super photoreal. It is hilarious.
I would watch it. I would 1000%. I authentically love the 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie.
I think there's value to it.
It's so fun.
I don't know if I'd go as far as saying I love it.
I cannot bring myself to I've watched them within the past like 6 months. Like that I watched that movie within the past 6 months. I cannot bring myself to hate that movie.
Yeah.
I can't.
Wasn't Yoshi in Jurassic World? yeah, he was. 100%. Lots of Yoshis. Oh man, it does that game not look awesome? Everybody should go look
play
at
it.
Chris Pratt as Mario. So yeah, that's all there is to talk about with that one. Okay, let's completely shift gears here. New Pokemon was announced this week. Get ready for the biggest Pokemon reveal ever, I think. Wiglet. Wiglet has been added to Pokemon. Some clarification here. Wiglet is not a regional variant of Diglett. It is a new Pokemon that looks strikingly similar to Diglett. But I think Diglets are kind of like mole-based, and this looks like it's based off of like...
I think this is secretly a clam.
Yeah, like
It's a
clam
garden eel.
Garden
eel, yeah.
Also, its face is on the top of its head, not the side. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Like he has to curve.
That is
to be seen.
weird. Right.
So, but other than that, it looks so similar to a Diglett that you would think like, oh, it's a regional variant. But they're like adamant. No. This isn't no regional variant.
This isn't Diglett, but we named it Diglett, essentially.
No, it's Wiglet. It's a different Pokemon.
It's one letter. It's one letter difference.
Oh, man.
Make sure you change up some of the answers so it doesn't look like you're copying the homework kind of thing.
I love this Pokemon. I think it is funny looking. I get some like Shuckle vibes from it a little bit.
Totally. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm
was
hoping to see something weird underneath the dirt at some point.
Watching the trailer for it, there was some notes in there that the evolution will be different. It's not going to be a Wig trio. It's going to evolve into... It combines with something else to evolve into something brand new. So they did not show...
Like a Slowpoke.
Yeah, they did
Right.
not...
Situation.
They did not show what that is or will be, but
what if it's
stay tuned.
Diglett?
It combines with Diglett to
Just
become...
is
And
Diglett.
it's just one of each. There's two of them.
Yeah. What was so
Wearing
Doug trio? So
like a wedding
It'll
clothes.
well, no, it should be Doug Duo, right?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why didn't that become a thing? That should be a mid stage.
For a second, I was confused. I was like, I have no recollection of Doug Duo being a thing. Am I
Doug
crazy?
Duo, the Doduo is a thing.
Yeah,
Kinda
Doduo is a
similar.
thing. Yeah. Maybe
Oh,
that's
man.
why. Same generation. They didn't want to copy too
This
much.
Wiglet trailer was so bizarre. I don't know if you guys saw it,
Mhm.
but it's like people researching in a lab, and it looks like they're reading a journal. It looks kind of cutscene like, but like, is this from the game? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah. I like that he's a water type. I like that Wiglet's a water type. That's pretty cool. Interesting. Yeah.
He's weird looking, but I like it. I like the Wiglet.
I like the weirdos.
I like him. I do
Yeah.
too. Yeah. I feel like he's probably not going to be like on my team. I feel like out of a lot of the new Pokemon that we've seen for Scarlet and Violet, he's kind of lower tier for me. I like a lot of the other ones we've seen more, but like he's still really good. I like
Yeah,
him.
but you need that water type, man. It's the typing, and
Hmm.
I think he's maybe the only water type they've shown.
Other than the like Quaxley, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you what starter are you going with?
Fuecoco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
We're all Fuecoco.
obviously.
We're all Fuecoco boys. That's right.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody I've talked to is getting Fuecoco. Um, I don't know what it is. I feel like I thought when they first dropped, Sprigatito seemed like it was getting the most love because cats. Everybody loves cats.
Yeah,
Not
I
everybody.
just I found I mean, no offense to Spriggan. I like them all. Like I think they're really good.
Oh yeah,
starters.
Mute Dog's doing. He's like, I'm all for Donald Duck.
Donald Duck, yeah. And really
Please
it always
name
boils
him
down to
that.
what the final one is, right? What the final evolution is. That's what it really boils down
You
to.
are right, and Fuecoco's final form's gonna look pretty cool based off.
I
of
hope so.
How he starts.
Yeah.
I think so. Man, I'm excited. I'm so excited for Pokemon. I gotta say that the hype just builds and builds for me. I am so excited for a new Pokemon game. I'm ready. Even though
Me too.
we had Pokemon Legends Arceus, it was so different that I'm like ready for Pokemon again that isn't like Arceus, if that makes sense. But it will be like Arceus. I don't know. I'm ready for traditional Pokemon that is
Sure.
in it what it's doing next. Arceus was just not about battles. It was all about catching. And this game's going to be much more. Sounds like we have a lot more about exploring, and I mean, because Arceus wasn't even about exploring either. Like there wasn't really incentive to explore different parts of the map. They were big general areas with Pokemon kind of sitting in general regions, but there wasn't like, oh, look at this sneaky little thing over here. This game will have that more likely than not. That's just how Pokemon is. So very excited. Speaking of Pokemon, next news item. We're killing it with transitions tonight. I put the news together in a great order. It's our trademark to
and
not.
Scizor.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say it's our trademark to not have good transitions. So we're really shaking it up tonight.
Yep, and on that transition, Scyther and Scizor are coming to Pokemon Unite a couple days ago.
Yes.
Or more, depending on when you're listening to this.
Oh, man. Is it really? Whoa. I thought that was today. My dates are off. Time.
Yep.
Time does not stop. So yeah, Scyther and Scizor added to Pokemon Unite. Both of them. That was weird. That's weird.
That is weird. Yeah. That is weird. Normally they kind of like drip feed a little bit with that game, right? Like one at a time.
Yeah. Well, and then they put two out and they're like evolutions of each other. I mean, that makes sense, but it's like weird still.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't really play that game anymore. I played it a little bit when it first came out, but I fell right off.
Yeah.
I think they've added like 10 new Pokemon since the last time I've played.
It just never. I was never hooked. I think maybe I don't like that genre, the
MOBAs. Yeah.
I think maybe that's just not for me. That's okay. I think it's a cool genre, really cool concept. I love it, but this would have been the one to appeal to me. Maybe if it was less mobile gamey feeling. I think Pokemon Unite kind of missed the mark, and that's all thanks to our buddies at Tencent. Thank you, Tencent, for monetizing this game to a fault. But it is making money and it is fun. So, yeah. Speaking of making money and maybe fun, The Elder Scrolls Skyrim Anniversary Edition. Micah, do you remember when we made a video and the AI predicted that this would be a thing? The Elder Scrolls 6 Skyrim? I
do remember.
Oh, coming to Switch. And we laughed. We're like, I'm going to be so excited if this is real. And it kind of is. It's not
So
Elder Scrolls
just
6.
you wait.
It is. It is Skyrim again on the Nintendo Switch. Oh, Micah, how you feeling? How you feeling about this?
I don't like it. I'm not happy about this.
What is it? Like, what did they add to it? What's the deal?
There's like new. It looks like new content.
Huh.
New story modes. There's fishing. That's for sure. They showed that in the trailer.
Oh, weird.
I mean, it's essentially the anniversary edition that Steam has had for a while, I believe.
No.
I don't know if it's different from that. Is it different?
Well,
from that?
I guess it's fairly new on Steam as well. I mean, within the last year.
That's potentially old.
Wait, is it $70? Is that the deal? Oh, no.
Yep. That's
This game
Oh,
should be
no.
$3 on release with how many they've made.
Holy moly.
I think I need to verify this. Is it really $70? That's what it says on.
Yeah, I was trying to look up a thing on YouTube, and that's like the first video from Spawnwave. $70 on Switch.
Yeah, it's not $70 on Steam. I think it's $50.
Which is just insane.
So it has new content? That's interesting.
Yep. It showed a giant crab monster. I have never seen that before. Like not mud crab, but like huge, like Kraken level. So I'm not gonna lie, guys.
Mode.
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think I will pick this up once it goes on sale. Inevitably goes on sale.
Don't you dare.
I'm doing it
Well,
because I want to play the new content.
It looks like. Do you already have the original on Switch?
Nope, I borrowed that from a friend,
Oh,
and that's why I want to get it. It's because I'm like, oh, might as well get it. Yeah, so it looks like it comes with the original, and it's like an upgrade on top of the original? Question mark. Don't know. I don't know exactly what that.
yeah. You can buy the upgrade. It looks like for $20 if you have the original already.
Yeah.
That's not
Which
terrible.
yeah, not bad. So you could get the original on sale somewhere and then just upgrade for significantly cheaper.
Interesting. So it looks like they have something. Is this like the mod thing, the creation club that they had on PC, like that mod content, that like user generated content?
Yeah, I believe that this is made up of like the top picks of that.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat.
Yep. Solo something in chat says, I'm saving my money, not buying Skyrim because he's saving up for No Man's Sky, which is coming out soon.
No Man's Skyrim.
No Man's Skyrim. Yeah. Okay, but let's real talk this. $70 for this thing. That's
Yeah.
what's going on? Why? Why would that happen?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if they just base that off of like what the game already costs on Switch plus the $20 upgrade or something. But
yes, that's like the only real explanation. But
yeah,
it doesn't make a lot of sense still.
just get it on sale. Just get it physically and then pay the $20 to upgrade, I guess, if you want.
Yeah, for real.
Or
That's
just
weird.
don't get it.
Micah's like,
Show
stop
them they
No Man's
can't
Sky.
do this forever.
They can't keep getting away with this.
We'll have to stop at some point if we stop buying them.
Yeah, that's true. I am blanking on the name. Oh yeah, Todd Howard. Todd Howard.
Oh,
What are you
yeah,
doing?
good
man?
old Todd Howard, man.
What are you doing, Todd Howard? He's like, it just works. Releasing Skyrim, it just works. Over and over and over again. Oh man. Is it my turn or your turn, Micah?
I think it's your turn.
Okay, my turn. Bayonetta 1 Physical Edition. That one's the one that
Yo.
releases today. That's the date of the recording,
Yes.
September 30th. Physical edition
It
for
was my
Bayonetta 1.
turn.
Oh, you got me.
I forgot. I have to go pick mine up. I have it pre-ordered at GameStop. I didn't go pick it up today. I've been too busy.
That's okay. You're not going to play it today
I gotta
anyway.
do it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
There's no time.
That's true.
But yeah, that's cool. Glad that we're getting physical re-releases of
great
those
game.
games for Switch.
It's a great game. I love Bayonetta 1's really good. Bayonetta 2 is even better, but Bayonetta 1 is still really, really good. And it's cool that Nintendo's doing this because the first game never released physically on Switch here. They did a physical double pack of Bayonetta 1 and 2 in Japan, but it was even then it was like limited release, so it's been extraordinarily expensive. So it's really cool that now you can just get it physically here ahead of the release of 3, and it's like $30. So
Solo
really
says he beat
Yeah, you hear that,
Bayonetta 1.
Skyrim? $30.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Solo says he beat Bayonetta 1 in 7 days. So it's not crazy long.
Oh no, it's probably like I would say it's probably 8 to 12 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
It's not that long.
And, speaking of not that long, that's the end of the segment. Huzzah, we made it. We made it. We've talked about the news. It wasn't a heavy news week this week. We actually stretched a little bit here to get some of these in, but they were fun to talk about. The Chris Pratt game, I'm excited. I really hope that does become publicly available, even though
at least release it as like a free demo or something.
Yeah, it would probably get taken down by Nintendo, but it's so cool. It's such a cool idea. And Chris Pratt, man, he's just so cool. All right.
This episode brought to you by Chris Pratt.
That's quoting the Miyamoto quote. He's so cool.
Yeah, he's so cool.
He's so cool. Let's head to the next segment of our show. Let's check out what's going on with the Rumor Pikmin over in the Rumor Mill. Alrighty, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I think the Rumor Pikmin here may have brought us the most obvious rumor of all time. It was like this apple has been sitting here all day, and they're like, "Hey, look, an apple," and they bring it to me. Potential spoilers. So this is your warning. Skip the rumor mill this week if you don't want spoilers for Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hype. Sparks of Hype.
Spoilers for like their newest trailer, I guess. So nothing
their
too
newest
crazy.
Trailer shows a close-up of Cursa's face, and we can now I'm pretty confident here in confirming that we know who Cursa is. Cursa is not just a random blob entity. It is a Mario character. It is a well-known, beloved, tall character. Waluigi is Cursa.
Yes.
I mean, you can't hide it from us anymore, Nintendo. Jokes aside here. Seth has done an entire video talking about this theory that Cursa is actually Rosalina.
Mm-hmm.
And this latest trailer shows half of Cursa's face, and I mean, it's a 1-for-1 match with Rosalina. But Micah points out, I mean, I'll let you make your point.
I forgot. What was my point?
They all have similar eyes.
Yes, all their eyes look very similar.
Yeah. Could be Daisy. Could be Daisy under there. Pulls off the hood.
It is suspicious that she
Hi, I'm Daisy.
Potentially comes more of herself when she's like attacking Lumas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
I'm hoping they're just being sneaky, like, oh man, let's make this seem like kind of obvious that it's Rosalina, so that all these people will feel really smart. Like, oh yeah, we know who that is, and then it's actually someone else.
Waluigi.
Could be.
Exactly.
Yeah. I sort of feel like they almost want to like dispel it. Like I almost think that they were like, yeah, this was obvious, right? And then there's been all this like mysticism and speculation and whatnot. I was like, well, maybe we should just like demystify this a little bit and be like, yes, this is, like a corrupted Rosalina or whatever Cursa is.
Or is it Bowsette? As an infernal points in chat.
Not Bowsette.
It'd still be Toadette.
Pauline.
Queen Toadette, whatever.
Pauline
Princess
actually
Toadette.
has... Pauline's eyes are quite different, though. Pauline does have very different eyes.
Yeah. No more smoke and mirrors, says Solo something. You're right. No more smoke and mirrors. We all know that Cursa is Rosalina. I just think that this was... it's interesting, and will be interesting to see how this works plot-wise. So Cursa just seems like maybe some dark entity that has taken
Mhm.
over Rosalina's mind. It'll be that's the pervading theory. Kind of a 1,000-year door situation. I think that happens to Peach in that game. And
Yeah, they have, well, yeah, because the thing with Cursa too, and like that, I'm not one to like toot my own horn. It was always obvious. I'm not like some mega mind genius for saying this, but like ever since the first reveal of Cursa, when they first revealed the game, I was like, oh, like that's supposed to be Rosalina, right? Like I literally I think said that on my show, just like, yeah, I think that isn't that supposed to be Rosalina, and I just thought it was like pretty obvious. And even just from the silhouette to the connection to the Lumas, like Cursa is specifically trying to like hunt down the Lumas and things, and you know the star on the chest, right where Rosalina has a star on her chest, you know, and now that we see this, and it's just like, okay, all
yeah,
right,
yeah, it's
the
not really a rumor.
like, all right.
Like, okay.
And then you see the
All right.
eye, and it's the same, you know, because Rosalina typically has her hair covering one of her eyes. You know, it's just so evocative of Rosalina. Like it's, you know, and there's all the galaxy connections, anyways, with the Lumas and the star bits, and you
Yep.
know,
Yep.
so
Or maybe
it's
it's
going to be
Rosalina's evil twin.
yeah. I mean, I kind of
Rosamina.
Rosamina, yes. I threw my I was just kind of like having fun. Like people took my video like way too seriously because I threw my theory out there, just kind of having fun with like deep lore like stuff. Like I was kind of diving into deep Mario Galaxy lore and things like this. I don't think the game is going to tap into that. I know that Mario plus Rabbids is kind of in its own little weird universe.
Mhm.
But I think it's fun to speculate, and like it is kind of nice now that new trailer's come out to kind of feel somewhat validated in that, as like goofy as my theories were. At least you know people can kind of agree now.
Goofy is Cursa, is what you're saying.
Goofy is Cursa, confirmed. That is my theory.
Gorsh. I'm after the Lumas. Yup. Oh man, Goofy, good old Goofy. It's just- but yeah, I agree. I agree with you. And everybody should go check out Seth's video on Is Cursa Rosalina. It that deep lore. That's the stuff I geek out about too.
I love that
spawned
stuff.
from? Is it all spawned from that whole universe,
The black
exploding
hole.
black hole thing? I mean, it's
Yes.
got the same energy, but I also see connections, like I've already stated, with the 1,000-Year Door. I mean, Cursa looks like a 1,000-Year Door villain, like
Mhm.
straight up. So you can just tell that. How does he pronounce his name? Davide?
Davide.
Davide?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Davide. You can just tell he loves Mario, and that the whole team there really loves Mario and taps into that. I think they love Mario more than they love Rabbids. Because the
yeah.
Rabbids are
Come
all
on.
just turning into Mario stuff. Man. But
Is there anybody that loves Rabbids more than Mario? Like anybody on planet
I'm
Earth?
sure there's at least one person somewhere
I don't
But-
think
that
there
is
is.
confused
they are
and
true
likes the
to
Rabbids more.
they are true to Rabbids as well. I mean, they're bringing Rayman in, so
That is cool.
That I'm
is
excited
cool.
for that. I've never really even like played any Rayman games, but I like that.
yeah, it's just hype. Sparks of hype, brother.
Sparks of hype.
Oh, well, that's all we got going in the rumor mill this week. Nothing too much to talk about there. It's fun. I'm excited. Very much looking forward to that game. Not when it comes out, but about 6 months later when it's discounted down to $15.
$15.
Yeah, you know it. We've joked about this the
Yeah.
whole time. We've joked about this the whole time we have talked about it. But I'm not gonna lie to you, Micah. This game is looking like it might be one you gotta get day one. It looks so good.
I'm getting
I
a
might
day one.
I might have a hard time waiting. Because
Mm-hmm.
even though I didn't really play much of the first one, this one's really appealing to me. The level design is a lot more like, it looks a lot cooler to me. The characters, the animations, everything about it just looks like the last game, but with another huge stack of polish and unique, cool content. So I'm just very excited. But
I can't wait.
with that, let's hop over into the next segment of our show. Let's talk community submitted questions and topics over in the Community Corner. In today's Community Corner, we got a lot of questions to cover. Micah, I'll let you read off this first one here. From Daisy Rose on Spotify.
They ask, well, say and then ask. TOTK is the weirdest Zelda acronym ever. How do you pronounce it? And I pronounce it by saying Tears of the Kingdom. Like I do with every Zelda game. Except potentially Oot. That's the only one I sometimes Ocarina of Time to say Oot on occasion.
I don't ever say the acronyms.
Me
out
either.
loud. I use it when shorthand spelling, but I never say them out loud. I'm never like, oh yeah,
Legend of
Zelda
Zelda.
WW.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Legend of
The
Zelda.
best Legend of Zelda.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I'm at too. I would only use that if I were typing it out. I would type out TOTK. I guess if I were, like, if I did speak it, it would be that. I'm not going to go with like Totka.
Let's just call it Zelda TikTok.
Or you say Tot K.
When I see it, I just see TikTok. That's what I see. I'm like, oh yeah, TikTok.
Reminds me of latkes. We eat latkes in my family for Hanukkah. We have latkes.
Yeah, some latkes. Nice. Yeah,
they're delicious.
That's a fun word to say.
There was actually I did have people when I used to play World of Warcraft. When Wrath of the Lich King came out, I did know people that said Watlika. I did know people that said Watlika, but that was about it. Or BC, Burning Crusade BC. Yep.
Yeah,
I could say something like BC, but I don't know, like Totka. Mm-hmm. It's just.
I mean, I think it's
like
you could just
like Breath of the Wild 2. I have to like think about it. Batwa, like that also just sounds awkward to say.
Totk.
That's my rap name. Totk.
Although I do find it interesting that Tot essentially looks like a crying face, very in line with the Tears of the Kingdom theme.
Oh my gosh!
Micah just cracked this wide open.
Crying face K, which be the kingdom.
I have needed
Tears
that
of the Kingdom.
Stinking song.
It's like a hieroglyph.
The name. Unsolved mystery X-Files song.
I cannot unsee that now. Yeah.
Good luck. I mean, I also haven't been able to unsee it, so I thought I'd share that. Make other people suffer too.
Holy moly.
He's just crying all the time. Thanks so much for the question, Daisy Rose. Hopefully we've given you a way to pronounce it. That is nice. Let's just call it Zelda TikTok, man. I'm down for that. Next question. We got a bunch of questions from the good old magnificent king of chat rule, aka Presto, the magnificent king of chat rule. What's the best game from 1992? Oh, classic. I didn't actually look this up beforehand, you know?
I'm having to look it up too. I just saw this.
You guys don't know off the top of your head that Super Mario Kart came out in 1992?
That's your pick,
that
huh?
is
as well
true.
As the even better game, Dig Dug.
Yo, Dig Dug. Well, the original Dig Dug must have come out earlier than that, right?
In the US, I'm looking at, supposedly.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at I gotta be honest with y'all. Like, I just Googled like video games 1992, and the stuff they have here on Google's like kind of mid. I'm not gonna lie. Doesn't look like it was that great of a year.
Too exciting.
Let me see. All right, gents. Well, before you guys really slam on
Quest.
This year.
Yo, Spanky's Quest is good though.
My pick, hands down, is Mario Paint.
Mario Paint? Oh. Well, hang on. Was A Link to the Past 1992? Oh, in Europe it was in 1992. And in North America it was in 1992. So I'll take that.
Okay, Link to the Past. There you go.
Yeah, Link to the Past. There you go.
I'll still pick Mario Paint, man. I love that game so much. The music from that game is so fantastic. I love the Fly Swatter game. I like drawing pictures, making animations, and playing with the music app in it. Oh, man. Such a great game.
Super Mario Land 2 came out in 1992. That's tough. I might... that's tough. Between that and... I'll still give it to A Link to the Past, but it is tough. Super Mario Land 2 is a great game.
Oh, Bucky O'Hare. Bucky O'Hare, man.
Bucky O'Hare's a good game too, man.
It is. It is. It's classic.
Okay, there's some gems.
Yeah, there's some good stuff. But yeah, Mario Paint. That's my pick. What's the worst game from 2022 this year? What's your worst game? Okay, so I think my answer to this is not going to be like the actual worst game from 2022. You know what I'm saying? There are so many games that come out now. I think I'm going to limit for myself. You guys can do what you would like. I'm going to limit for myself probably to Nintendo first party. And oh man, I gotta really think about what games came out this year.
I'm having a hard time thinking of like a game I played this year where I just like, because you know, I look for the silver lining in a lot of things, and I try to be really positive, and like, and even then, like, it's hard for me to be like, oh, this game was just awful, because I know that like it's good to somebody. Like, for example, like Mario Strikers wasn't for me, right? Like I didn't like Mario Strikers. It wasn't for me, but it's for a lot of people. Like there are a lot of people that really love that game and they play competitively and things like that. So like I never want to yuck somebody else's yum. It just, that was probably like my most disappointing game, I guess. Like in terms of a game I was really excited for, bought it day one, and it just like, it just wasn't for me. Like that's it. And that happens sometimes, and you know, whatever. You move on. I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I might also have to go with Strikers.
Yeah,
That's the only game that I can think
that.
of with that effect on me.
Yeah, even though like I don't think Strikers is a bad game.
Me either. No, I don't think it's a bad game either.
It just didn't hold me.
And it's okay for a game to not be for you, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have to, that's the thing, is like you see a lot of people, they just like raise the earth. This game sucks. This is awful, you know, blah blah blah. And it's like, no, it wasn't for you. And that's okay, because it's for a lot of other people. Like I know Sam, Third Strongest Mole, he loves that game. He spent a bunch of time with that game. There are a lot of people, the Dads After Dark guys, they love that game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, besides that, I'm looking here.
I feel like my most disappointing part about that game is pretty much everyone I know stopped playing it, so I don't have people to play it with.
Oh, yeah. I can play with you, Micah. But
yeah, I mean that is one where I haven't played it all that much, but I do enjoy it.
Yeah. Do you have a pick for this, Micah? Games came out 2022.
Depends. Do you think Power Wash Simulator is going to be out on Switch by the end of this year?
It's supposed to be, right?
So I'm going to cheat a little bit, and that's going to be my pick, because I have played it on.
It's not even out yet.
I played on Steam though, and I imagine it'll be the same. And that's also one of those. It's not a bad game, and I can understand why some people would enjoy it, but it just got very tedious for me. Should
I put Elden Ring for my answer?
Oh, you're gonna love that game.
I'm just kidding. I know I'm going to enjoy it. Here's the thing.
Or you're just gonna get absolutely spanked and not like it.
No, I don't like it because flipping Eli from Barely Gaming Podcast just can't stop making other people play it.
He hasn't even finished it.
He's a monster. He's an absolute monster. Making his wife play a 200-hour long game, making one of his best friends play a 200-hour game. I mean, he forced us both to play it.
Oh, you know, Chocobo GP was a big letdown for me too.
Ooh, that's way worse than Strikers.
Yeah,
I didn't play Chocobo GP. I think that takes it, man. I can't think of another like big game, but that's not Nintendo first party. So maybe
it's not first party.
Let's open it up. Are there any other things you guys can think of?
Cyberpunk wasn't this year.
Cyberpunk was last year, right?
Cyberpunk was like 2 years ago, maybe even.
Yeah. Oh man. No, don't tell me that. No.
I really do like Nintendo Switch Sports. It hasn't had the same staying power because I'm just not in that like place in my life anymore like I was with Wii Sports.
Yeah, agreed.
But I still think I still think that game is really good for what it is.
Now I'm just gonna open it up here. Video
Yeah,
games.
Chocobo
2022.
GP let me down because I didn't really like the. It actually is a fun like Mario Kart clone, and I think the idea is really solid there, and I like how they have the free light version and things like that. But they just like they loaded it down with unnecessary like microtransactions and things, and that's always so unfortunate.
Yeah, nothing else here screaming out to me. Ones that I played. So there you go.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah, I can't-
Strikers will have to be what I stick with. It's probably like a regret purchase for me, but I still enjoyed my time with it. I just didn't feel like it was maybe worth the price I paid because
Sure.
of how little I played it.
I think that's fair.
I have played Switch Sports a lot more. So there you go. Great questions. Thank you so much for the questions. So, he has more. I guess I should move on here. Would you rather be amazingly good at one game and horrible at every other game you play, or be decent in all games?
I think I'm like pretty decent at most games, so like it probably wouldn't be that much better than my life now. So I'm just gonna go with that.
Just gonna stick with the status quo, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it would, if anything, it would probably improve my game in some of the games that I'm like really bad at. At least then I'll be decent across the board. I'll take it. I'll take decent. I don't need to be excellent.
Yeah, if you're too good at games, they kind of get boring, right?
Well, here's a good point made by Monkey Thunder. It says, this is a tough question because if you're amazing at one game, you could probably go pro and get lots of money doing said
That was
game.
my first thought as well.
But then
But
other
then you
games
would hate it.
But
You
other
would
games
get
would
so
not be as
tired
fun
of it.
because you suck. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I've been watching a lot of Lil Curbs, who speedrunner, that basically exclusively plays Mario Maker 2 and runs that game. And has like 3,000 hours in that game, and still seems to be enjoying himself. He doesn't do it
Or
because
does
like
he just
this
have
is
to
what's
pretend
popular.
he enjoys it?
I just don't think it's actually it would be possible, and you could tell he's having a good time still. He's still having fun with it. So I don't know. So I think
Yeah, plus
I
you
could
suck at a
see-
lot of games anyways that you enjoy playing.
right.
Thank
you. I could see myself like honing in on a single game, and if I could just be really good at that one game, that would be really cool. But the problem would be it would need to be a game that has legs for a
game that is
long
eternal.
time. Yeah, because if okay, what if that game is I'm trying to think of like game like we have
Like you
games that
can't say Breath of the Wild.
we have games that come and go so fast, you know. Gosh, I'm like really trying to think of a good example, like Metroid Dread. It doesn't have staying power
Unless you like to speedrun
space.
it.
Micah's like,
Yeah.
I beg to
I
differ.
was like, how dare you? I
but-
played that just yesterday.
Yeah, but it's like if that's the one game I'm good at, then I think it could get that could be kind of problem being it's small. But a game like
Like
what
there's
if
so
I
many
was
branching paths you could take.
what if I was super good at Minecraft? Okay, that one would be like probably the ideal game to be super good at because it's infinite and its popularity has stayed for like 20 years. So, I mean, content creators in that space do very well. Speedrunners are doing very well in that space now too. There you go. Could make it a career.
Like, eventually, at some point, you have to get bored of one game if that's the only game you're good at.
Yeah. But I also enjoy playing games I'm bad at. So I wouldn't have as much of a problem with that. Because, I mean, look at me. I got like 300 hours into Spelunky 2. I'm not good at Spelunky 2. Guess I'm better than average, but I die a lot more than...
Is anyone actually truly good at Spelunky 2?
That's a good point.
Good point. Yeah.
So I think I will... I think I'll, go against the grain here. I'll pick. I want to be really good at one game.
Okay, well, you got to pick your one game right now then.
Breath of the Wild.
You're going to pick Breath of the Wild. That means you're going to be terrible at Totka.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
And
None
that
of
comes
that.
out in like
Wouldn't
6
that be
months.
funny?
I'm playing
Just
this one
none
super
of those
good.
skills carry
I'm like,
over.
oh, what? This game's completely different. You can't speedrun this with the same tactics. That would be funny. Great
Or
question.
even better, it is all the exact same tactics, but for some reason you just can't pull them off.
For some reason.
Micah, your answer then is you would go with decent at all?
Decent at all. Yep.
Yeah, me too. I'm going status quo.
You gotta,
All right.
you gotta have that variety.
Next question here, and this is a good one. Pitch a Pokemon based on yourself.
Oh gosh.
They already got it. Dunsparce.
Yeah. Oh man.
I
Pokemon based on me.
I don't want any more explanation than that. I feel like that just speaks for itself.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna give you any more.
What would my Pokemon be? What type would my Pokemon be? I've always really liked fire type Pokemon. So, everything I picture for like pitching a Pokemon that looks like me would just be creepy and weird. You know, humanoid Pokemon are weird.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I guess he'd be a podcaster Pokemon or like
that's where I'm at.
a
Yeah.
content creator Pokemon. So like something that has a microphone integrated into the character design.
Yeah.
Its
I don't know,
hands are
man.
just 2 microphones.
He's a fighting type.
There's not really a Pokemon that has that I can think of. Surprisingly,
The
A
closest
Pokemon- a
is like
microphone.
Loudred. But that's more about
I was gonna
speakers.
say
It's a speaker,
Yeah. Yeah, I feel because that's the thing, man. Is like this is like what my this is like 99% of my personality just right here is the
Just the
podcasting and the
Yeah.
content creation.
Nowadays, I don't feel like podcaster is like an accurate description of what I do as a content creator. I feel like I just do a wide
Right.
variety of stuff because I'm doing challenge runs and speed runs, a lot of YouTube, and the podcast is just another aspect of that. But it is all done with camera, microphone, and all that setup. So in my mind, I am picturing a. This is weird. I'll describe it for you guys. A tree stump that kind of looks like a desk and branches that have like a microphone ish type setup. And then the tree stump is like a shell. Okay. That's not the Pokemon. It's like a conch shell. And then it's this skinny little
Is
like-
it Wiglet?
wiglet looking creature that has very like prominent like glasses. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh my
spiky hair
gosh.
with this like tree stump streamer setup. That's what I'm picturing in my mind. Someone draw this, please. Somebody out there with artistic ability.
I feel like that could
draw this
actually look
Pokemon.
pretty cool. Or it could look really dumb. Depending on
It's
who
gonna look.
makes the
It's
art.
gonna look a little bit of both. That's how everybody treats new Pokemon designs. They're like, "Oh, this is garbage," and then they're like, "There's this group of people that are like, I like it." That's how it'll be for this one.
Could I be like a regional variant of Spiritea? Because like just like Spiritea, but with coffee. Can I just be that? I'd be okay. I'd be
Yeah.
okay with that.
Yeah. It's a Spiritea that dresses like what you see a stereotypical person that walks into Starbucks, right? Like the most hipster-ish looking Spiritea.
I'd be okay with that.
It's got to have a beard. Like
It must have a beard.
Yeah.
Must have beard. Yeah.
oh,
for
I love
sure.
it. I love this idea.
I also ghost type Pokemon are my favorite
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon also. So I'll go with that. I'm actually wearing, I don't know how well you can see, it's like a pattern, but it's a ghost type Pokemon shirt.
Oh, what?
That's-
No, I
It's
can't
weird
see that.
you can't really see it. Yeah. Let me see if I can like
Just
get it.
like
more
you
in
can't
the
really see
camera.
ghosts. Generally.
Can you kind of make that out?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's a
cool.
sick shirt. That is
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah, weird coincidence.
Micah, I feel like you copped out by saying you are Dunsparce. A new
What are you
Pokemon.
talking about?
A new Pokemon based off yourself. What would this Pokemon be like?
Hmm.
Slacking?
It'd be similar to that. Kind of a more reclusive. I'm going to try and avoid all responsibilities kind of Pokemon.
Yeah. What does this
And
Pokemon look like?
it's a rock.
It's a rock. I love it. It's like a Snorlax.
Not like a Geodude, but just like a straight rock you'd find on the ground.
Yeah.
A pebble.
Yeah.
No, you're the new you always got the Sudowoodo, right? You got the Foongus, Voltorb. You are that, but for boulders that you push out of the way using strength. So it's like, oh, my Geodude used
AKA a
strength.
Graveler.
The boulder attacked, and it's a Micamon, and it's just a rock that's just like,
Leave
sup?
me alone.
I love it. I love it.
Somebody take that voice clip of Micah saying "Leave me alone" and just like mod that into Pokemon every time you use strength on a rock. Just leave me alone.
Oh man. Man, I wish I had the tool set to know how to mod games for things like that. That would be so funny. Oh, that's a great question. I really like that one. Okay, and then last question. Which batteries are better? AA or AAA? Or, as Monkey Thunder points out, C batteries, D batteries, 9-volt. What's the best kind of battery?
I'm gonna go with 9-volt for the WarioWare connection.
Oh, you know it. I knew
That's
you
what I'm
would.
gonna do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
What are you gonna pick, Micah?
What's that battery you can lick?
That's the 9-volt.
9-volt?
Pretty
Oh,
sure.
heck yeah.
You go 9-volt as well?
Oh, for sure.
Unanimous 9-volt.
A battery you can lick?
I'm all
Love
about them rechargeable lithium-ion batteries, man.
Oh yeah.
I hate batteries. I am so glad that every game company except Xbox has been like, let's just make rechargeable controllers. Man, because that was a scam. You stinking battery companies. You're
Big
outdated.
battery.
Yeah,
Big batteries all scheming
they're paying off Xbox to stay on the controllers. We know what's up here.
on that Energizer payroll.
Yeah, you know it. The guy sold out. That's all the questions from Presto. Thank you for all the questions, Presto. Those were great. Micah, you want to ask the next one?
Queen Maddie Beth of Chat Rule asks, have you ever been playing a game while listening to the music and noticed that you were playing the game almost, if not exactly, on beat with the music you were listening to in the background? So is this like separate music or in-game music?
Yeah, I think separate in the background. I mean, in-game music, I mean, that happens all the time for me. But as separate, I honestly don't listen to music outside the game. I mean, it really depends. There are certain games where there's not really much of a soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
But even in those, I tend to just not listen to music.
I'm either listening to the in-game music or like if it's sometimes I'll listen to a podcast while I play games, but
You're playing perfectly in time with the talking.
with the dialogue perfectly timed out. Yeah. I don't know if that's ever happened to me, although I will say when I was playing Fallout 3, I think it was, and like they have the radio in that game, and I would like play just by myself and I would be singing along to the radio. And one time I played for like an extended session and I didn't realize that I was just basically singing for like 8 hours straight because I was just singing along to the radio while playing it just on autopilot. And just like, I like, oh wow, I like lost my voice. Like I didn't realize I've just been singing this whole time.
That's pretty great. That's pretty great. I don't have a very exciting answer here. This just hasn't happened to me. I don't listen to a
Yeah,
lot of music.
but
So
I
So
also
the answer
don't
is no.
the answer is
listen to
no.
music while playing.
That's it. Thanks so much for the question, though. Sorry, I don't have a more exciting answer here. Maybe I need to listen to music to get that rhythm down. I watched a speedrunner because there are some tricks in Breath of the Wild where you can do wrong warps into shrines, and for certain runs, um, that's the thing you'll want to be able to do, like minimum item use. You can warp into shrines from other shrines, and you have to do frame perfect pausing,
Mm.
and
Frame perfect stuff's always fun.
and a lot of them use like a metronome or a song to hit the frames perfectly, and I think that's pretty cool, pretty fun. Thanks so much for the question. Next question comes from Solo Something, who's here in chat as well. Thanks for being here, Solo. In a world of, well, it's not really a question. This is more of a topic. In a world of me's, I still have never found a me that looks like me. A me,
I
M-I-I,
think all
that
me's
looks
look
like me.
right?
With M-E. Consider yourself lucky, those that have hit the mark well. I wish Nintendo's app would allow us to take a selfie and turn it into a me. Not a show question, just more of a thought to add.
Can you do
I can
something
relate
with
to
like the
that.
3DS with that or something?
Yeah, you could on the
Play
3DS.
that photo dojo. That's what you could do.
Well, when you did the me
So
maker,
good.
you could actually take a picture of yourself and then it would make a me based off that. They never looked good though.
Yeah.
Me either. Yeah, I could never get it to look good that way.
They always
I
made
mean,
the eyes and everything too small on the face, and the head was just huge every time. It was like, why did they do this?
A lot of
Yeah.
people realize they look like weirdos when they use that functionality. Like, is this how other people see me?
It's tough for me because like very few character creators have like big old beards like this. Like sometimes they'll have like beards, but they normally don't come too far off the face, you know. And then long hair is also kind of hit or miss. So
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time making characters that look like me in general. And yeah, me's like I do okay. I do my best, but
I
can never
like.
quite get it.
I really dug it when the me hairstyles were not locked to genders.
Like genders,
That
yeah.
like they were originally, because then a lot of these guys that have the longer hair could get that, and then a lot of these gals that have the shorter hair or anywhere in between, whatever kind of hair. I think that was a cool decision, and it made it a lot easier to make a me that looked like you yourself.
That meme maker in Metopia needs to just be the standard meme maker.
If
Like,
that was the case, you could make a
Mhm.
me that looks exactly like you, because it
Yeah.
has a ton of customization. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, make that the
Ninten-
standard.
Nintendo, next system, bring them back. And enough is enough. Quit pretending the Mii's didn't exist and they weren't iconic. All right?
I agree.
People loved it. We're nostalgic for it. I think the Wii era, there's a ton of nostalgia for. So if they bring that back in a big way for the next system, bring back all those like check me out, the everybody votes channel, all that stuff.
The little channels.
Street Pass. I mean, yeah,
I
come
miss
on.
it, man.
That'd be cool. I put this in our Discord, but I think sometimes if you feel a little stuck, the way to go is to have somebody else make the me for you. Because a lot of
Right.
ways they're caricatures, and so someone else might be able to do a better job. My me looked incredibly generic, and I just was really holding tight to that until I guess the 3DS era, when I was like, I don't actually style my hair like the default me, and I wear glasses now, and so it's like once I just caved and was like, I'm gonna make this me look like me and not like how I don't know if that makes sense, like a caricature of me.
Mm-hmm.
Then I feel like it looked more like me. Now my me always has the spiky updo faux hawk, and I always give him big jumbo glasses, and yeah, Micah's me that he made himself looks nothing like Micah. I'm just going to throw it out there. The me that is in our logo, I made for Micah. And I was like, this looks way more like you, man.
So I'm pretty sure I spent 17 seconds on it making myself.
Micah hates character customization, man. You like never do it.
It's terrible.
I love doing character customization. So I can spend hours in the me maker trying to make. I loved the Check Me Out app. I loved that app. Thought that was so fun.
Oh, I missed that.
So yeah, if you're stumped, maybe it's time to look somewhere else. So I feel like Solo could send a picture. We should do like a contest.
I've seen Solo's me. I think Solo's me. I think you actually did a pretty good job. I've seen his me.
Yeah,
I think you did a pretty good job.
You should just post a picture in Discord, and then we'll do our own Check Me Out channel. We'll all make the best Solo that we can make.
There you go.
That would be fun to do as a community.
That would be
like
fun.
A community game night or something. Everybody puts in like a picture that they want. It doesn't even have to be you. Like a picture of someone, and we all try and make the best me.
Like a celebrity or something.
I just want that channel back, man. That's what I want.
I do too, man.
I remember just an entire parade of like Harrison Ford. And they were all so different. And it was super fun. Darth Vader, that was a good one. Man, good times. All right. Next question from Solo Something. This one's an interesting topic here. I think we will save this for a special topic, PAL topic in a future episode. But I want to get your guys' initial thoughts here. Ranking Link's swords in ascending top 10 tier list, factored by coolness.
Oh, gosh.
I'm just going to say, like, pick your top 1 to 3 swords in Zelda games that you would pick as, like, your favorite. And, you know, the Master Sword does vary in design based on game to game, so maybe you can pick the Master Sword multiple times from different games. I don't know. Whatever you'd like to do. I can go first here.
Yeah.
Obviously, I am a huge fan of the classic Master Sword design. It varies. I think my favorite one might be Skyward Sword.
Yeah, I think Skyward Sword has a really good looking Master Sword.
Twilight
Princess
Princess
generally don't change that much, but
Twilight Princess also has a really good Master Sword, and it's pretty similar to Skyward Sword. Gosh, I'm saying sword so much. I'm like, am I saying this right?
they're gonna start saying sword.
Sword.
Once you start thinking about words too much, you start pronouncing all the letters.
Yeah.
You shouldn't really.
What's that sword? I think it was from Twilight Princess. That cool looking sword that you can get it from the amiibo in Breath of the Wild. I remember. Was it Ganon's sword? Maybe.
Oh, the one that's like he stabbed through the chest.
Yeah.
With? Yeah. That's I don't know what
cool
it's called,
sword.
but it's like Ganon's. It's Ganon's sword that he uses. Yeah, that's a
cool
good one.
sword.
On that same vein, I'd probably say the Royal Claymore from Breath of the Wild. I think is a very cool
sword.
A very cool looking sword.
I like the ancient weapons in Breath of the Wild, like
that's a good pick as well.
The various ancient swords. Yeah.
But what about the Great Fairy's sword from Majora's Mask?
Fairies. Oh yeah, that's true too. Because like Fierce Deity's got his own sword and everything too.
You can get that in Breath of the Wild as well, man. Great
Yeah.
Fairy sword, so weird looking. I don't think I've ever seen this.
Awesome. I only looked it up. I mean, I only saw it because they also posted a list of like 15 swords. But I would love to see like a modern rendition of the Great Fairy sword. Because I mean, it has like 8 polygons in this art.
Get that big Oron sword, man.
I was gonna say shout out to the Big Oron sword. I don't think it has that cool of a design, but the quest for that was cool.
It's really basic, but it is a cool quest. Like I like quests like that where you really have to kind of work for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which one's the one that breaks when you like hit it on a rock? It's like the Giant's Knife and the Big Goron sword.
Yeah, that's that one.
Mm-hmm.
That was always awesome. You're like, yes, I did it, and I spent so many rupees to get this sword. I'm going to test it out, and you hit a rock, and it just breaks. It's like, excuse me?
Yeah, also shout out to the training sword from Twilight Princess, the wooden one that you start with. You're like, why?
Right.
How does this work? You're like beating people, slicing things up, and it's made of wood. Like, okay, sure. I guess they have similar in Breath of the Wild. You can get the like Forest Dweller sword, which is very similar in design. I also really like what is it called?
The
The
goddess
swords that
sword?
the Yiga clan use.
Oh, do they use those like scimitars or
Yeah,
something?
are they like curved?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are
No,
cool.
no, the Blade Masters use swords. The regular guys use
Oh, right. The Blade Masters have like those like katanas, don't they?
The
yeah,
wind
those
something, whatever they're
Yeah.
called.
I'm trying to find the name of it, but I cannot.
So wait, are you talking about those ones, or is there a different sword?
I'm talking about the wind katana.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
got
those
like
are
a really cool
It does
design
have a
with like
cool name.
with like
Those
hooks.
are like wavy something.
Yeah. Yeah. Any others you guys want to shout out?
Yeah, that I
do
think
Oh, after you.
no, I'm struggling to think of a bunch of like Zelda. I mean, I think most of them come from like Breath of the Wild, right? Because like oftentimes you just kind of get the Master Sword or some sort of like variation of it.
Yeah, you almost always start with some training sword, and then
Mm-hmm.
you then through a course of events pick up the actual Master Sword. So you usually have like 2, maybe 3 swords in a standard Zelda game, but Breath of the Wild is just littered with them. Like they're everywhere because of the breakable weapons deal.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Micah's
I posted that link in the Discord that they shared. Yeah, there are a lot more swords in here than I remembered. I kinda like
for
the
sure.
goddess sword. It's like pretty low key, but I like the color scheme of it.
Yeah, there's the Picori blade. Isn't the 4 sword different? Oh, hey, yep, there it is in the list. I was like, the 4
Mhm.
sword's different than the other ones. That one's cool because it splits Link into 4 people. They don't really explain the implications of that and like what any of that means, but yeah, there's 4 of
Don't
them.
question it.
Oh man, I forgot about the Locomo sword. That one's pretty cool.
Me too. That is a cool one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the sword that I guess Link doesn't use this one, but the sword that Girahim uses is pretty cool. Or Girahim himself being a sword.
That's
Heck
right.
yeah,
Spoilers.
man.
I literally don't actually remember that being a thing.
Yeah.
He is the sword. Spoiler
He's
alert.
like Demise's Fi, basically, right?
Yep. He ends up being Demise's sword. Kind of horrifyingly.
It's pretty wild.
Horrifying because he like kind of dies. Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Great question, Solo. Yeah, maybe this will be something we dive into in a future PAL topic a little bit deeper with a ranking. All right. Next questions here. We got some big ones here from I Can't See on Discord as well as Twitter. So, Micah, this one's yours. You get the long ones this time.
That is pretty long. They say / ask, in my cloud gaming question, you mentioned that the Switch has the capability to run offline. That's true, but they need to advertise games that can go offline. Recently, I've played games like Chex Quest HD, Thomas Was Alone, and other indie games that require an internet connection, even for single player. I ride the line with cloud gaming. I like it because I can't justify a PC or both other consoles, but I want a native option to fall back on. Also, Nintendo uses Ubitus for cloud gaming.
Good to know. Yeah, we talked about this last week. He asked a question on cloud gaming, what our thoughts were on it, just because it's generally received pretty negatively. I think Mike and I both kind of concluded that it's not our preferred way, but we really haven't given it much of a shot ourselves, so we can't really knock on it because we haven't tried it,
Yeah, it's better than nothing.
Yeah. That would be nice. I think it would be good for things to explicitly state whether they need an online connection or not. That should be like a back of the box or like a feature that is prominently displayed, just like number of players and rating, you know, like requires internet connection. I think that should definitely be a thing. I don't like the assumption that gaming developers and companies are making nowadays that everyone has access to internet, because that is just not the case. You segment a huge part of your market by making your game internet connection only. And not only that,
Yeah.
they buy it thinking that it isn't, and then they're ticked off. So not only do you not make sales, you actively make people angry that want to be able to play a game. So I mean, I think that's to the point made here in the question. I think that it should be advertised for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, cloud gaming's not there yet. You know, like it's. I just don't think it's there. I mean, we just saw Stadia close this past week, right? So
Poor Stadia.
I mean,
wait,
poor
let
Stadia.
me. Wait, this is perfect. I was looking for the opportunity. Let's all pause for Stadia here. Very sad.
Pouring out for Stadia.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if you can actually hear this, Seth. Sad music.
Oh, sad music is playing for Stadia.
Very sad music.
Yeah. R.I.P. Stadia. Yeah, it's just I think that was just proof positive of like the, we're just not there yet. I think it is the future. I just don't think it's the now.
Yeah.
It's not the right time.
Yeah, I can see that. But I also really do need to actually give a cloud game a shot, like a full-blown cloud game experience, I think, before I can really knock on it. Because I've heard so many great things from people that have good experiences with it. Stadia fans, all 10 of them, were very big fans of Stadia.
Yeah.
It had a big market. There are a big chunk of people that are sad to see that go.
Yeah, to their absolute credit, and I don't see enough people talking about this. It was cool that they're giving like full refunds.
Yep,
that is really cool.
Everything, not just the hardware, but the software that you purchased. I mean, that's insane.
That's pretty wild.
That is absolutely insane. And I think hopefully that restores enough goodwill that people don't completely lose faith in it. I think that's kind of their purpose in it. It's a good move to make, and going like, listen, this is on us. We're messing this up. So this isn't on you guys. You guys don't have to suffer for this. That is big. That is a big deal. Huge credit to Google for doing that. But man, they just shouldn't close it.
Well, yeah. Well, and I do think too, when we do, I don't want to say the Switch Pro word or whatever, but whenever we do get to like future iterations of Switch, I do think we're going to see them start to work towards that more, because Nintendo has made it clear that they aren't interested in being the most powerful hardware on the market. So like having the functionality to run cloud games well, which that is something that I've heard about, that I've heard about things like xCloud and even Stadia, that like in the right environments and with the right setup, like it actually can work quite well.
Yeah, Napsy in chats pointed out he's tried a little Xbox cloud gaming on tablet, and it works really decent if you got good connection. Yeah.
So I think we can get there, and I think that Nintendo is probably going to invest more in that, because again, like they don't want to invest money in giving you things like, they don't want to sell you a Switch that has ray tracing and teraflops and all this junk. Like they're not ever going to be that company, I don't think. But so I expect them in the future to double down more on the cloud side of it, so that you can get a little bit of that parity and have some of those other games on there. But you have to make it work well first.
Agreed. I think I can't see us making a good approach to it as well. They seem to be of the mindset of like, it's not that bad. Everybody really rags on it. Like the time I have with it's pretty good. So riding the line on it, like doing it where it makes sense and not where it doesn't.
Yeah, definitely not every game should be in the cloud or whatever. But if there's a situation where like, we get to this place where like we see certain games on Switch and it's like, is this going to be a physical, like an actual Switch port, or is it going to be a cloud port?
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of straddle that line a little bit. And then, as I have to imagine, as a publisher or as a developer, you start thinking about like what makes more sense for our game. Because for example, for Square Enix, right, they were like, it would be a snap to bring Kingdom Hearts to Switch. Like, all we have to do is make it a cloud version. And now, like, everybody hates it because it's a cloud version. Meanwhile, it's like, is it worth it for us to put in all of the work and the development resources to make these native ports? Like, it'll make the people who do buy it happy, but are we going to sell enough to justify that cost? I don't know. You know,
If the question in particular is towards Kingdom Hearts, absolutely you would have sold enough to make it count. Square. So
maybe.
I don't
Yeah,
think that's a maybe. I no way. The game is too beloved, dearly beloved, you might say.
Nice. I would like to think so, but I mean, like, you know, these people, you know, these companies do like market research and things like that, and they, you know,
Also
they may
true,
not
yeah.
have seen it was, you know, like like it would be worth their while in their estimation. You know, I don't know, but I think we'll get there eventually. Like, I don't think this is the right time, but I think that someday there will be the right time, and we'll be able to support it in a real way.
Agreed.
Yep.
Next question's on the same topic.
Yeah, they say in my last question, someone in chat brought up ownership. With gaming leaning more towards digital, we don't own our games.
It's always interesting. That's always an interesting conversation to have, because yeah, if you have something digitally, you own like the license to the game, right? And there's also weird stuff too that you start to see with like even physical games now. Like, if I get a game home and it's a physical version, the idea is I own this physically, so I have it forever, right? Well, that's not necessarily going to be the case, because so many of them have like day one patches, even to the extent of like a lot of them have patches that are like required to play the game, or at least play like a good version of the game, like substantial day one patches.
Yep.
So, and even some you're starting to see more and more now that have required downloads on top of what's on the cartridge. So, like, just simply getting a physical copy of a game doesn't always mean that you have like the game preserved physically forever either. So there's no like great solution to that. And then even still, like, you know, something like things happen to physical games all the time too. The batteries die out, you know, or whatever. There's disc rot is a thing even. Like, you're never going to keep everything forever, you know?
Yeah, agreed. But I don't know. There's part of me like I'm still kind of on the line of like I definitely prefer physical over digital.
Me
but
too.
I've definitely merged a lot more into the digital realm, because a lot of stuff just is not available. Is not available sooner. So like especially in indies, like there's not a physical that's going to be available
Right.
day and date. I hope that as we get more into the future, game companies will work a little bit harder to get a physical released with their digital version, but it's just so easy to do a digital.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these small teams, they need that income stream as soon as possible. So I don't know. Don't know what the best solution is to talking about from an ownership standpoint. I think it's different though than cloud, because cloud is really at the mercy of someone else having the device. Because even like in the case of Stadia, like that's not going to be usable now, right? Where digital sales for the 3DS, for example, even though the 3DS eShop is being shut down, you still have those digital games on your system, and they are still going to be playable. There are some, right, that are going to require connections to servers that will be shut down. That doesn't matter where you're playing that. That's going to not be available anymore, right? So that's my thoughts on it. It's like
Yeah.
I still do feel like ownership is a little bit better, but it's like it's like leasing a car versus renting a car. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's
all,
weird because like the 3DS example, right? Like they're like, oh yeah, like we're gonna keep the servers up so that you can re-download your 3DS purchases in perpetuity. Well, that's not gonna be forever. I'm not gonna be able to turn on my 3DS in 20 years and re-download my old stuff. Like that's not gonna be a thing, you know. Yeah, and then like similarly, when you get into that situation, then like what happens? Like my SD card goes out or something like that in my 3DS, and then just all those are gone. I have no way to re-download it. I think you just kind of have to parse these things like on a case by case basis and like what makes sense for you. And what you're comfortable, because I'm kind of with you, Andros, when it comes to indie games. Like I'm not gonna wait to play an indie game that I really want to play just because it doesn't have a physical. Like I'm just gonna play the games I want to play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed. Well, let's move on to the next questions here. We've got a little bit more to go here, and we've got a fun PAL topic to cover. So, last 4 questions. They're all from Mute Dog, who asks first, who would make a better pet, Judd or Poochie?
Poochie for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I think I got to go with Poochie as well.
Well,
I
for
think,
many reasons.
I think
dogs are better than cats. I'm just gonna say it. Dogs are better than cats.
I kind of typically lean more towards cat than dog, but Judd's kind of horrifying. Like I wouldn't want Judd as a pet. Judd is too.
Little Judd's worse. Little Judd's way scarier than
Little
regular
Judd's
Judd.
even better.
Yeah, Little Judd's at least cuter, but yeah, definitely horrifying. Clone, but like Judd just doesn't look like a cat.
Judd. No, I love dogs, man.
But Poochie looks like a dog. Poochie is a big old dopey dog, man.
And he can like walk on spikes. Like he'll take that for you. You can just be on Poochie's back and go over all the obstacles. Poochie's great, and dogs are great. Like we don't deserve dogs, man. We really don't. And I love cats too, by the way. Like one of my like I had a cat. He was like my best friend. He sadly passed away, and I loved that cat. Like I'll never have another animal companion in my life like that cat. I love cats. Don't get me wrong, but dogs are just pure beings that we do not deserve dogs. They love you unconditionally. They just like, it doesn't matter. They love you. That's it.
Yep. They're awesome. Dogs are best. So we all picked Poochie. It's a shutout. Yep. Sorry, Judd. Next question. What is the longest you've ever played a game in one sitting?
Oh gosh. It's probably either World of Warcraft or Halo 2 for me.
How long?
So World of Warcraft for sure I've played for like over 24 hours straight. I know I've done that. Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I know I've done that. Yeah.
I was about to be like, I think we're going to trump you here because we did the 24-hour stream.
That's true. Yeah. No, I've for sure done more than 24 hours straight on WoW. For sure.
But that wasn't one game.
I'm assuming you took bathroom breaks and maybe ate.
Yeah.
Once.
Yeah.
Or twice.
No, I think I ate.
No, he was true.
I ate
World
once.
of Warcraft fashion. He just peed himself
Played
right there.
on
just
the
right
toilet.
there.
Yeah. Just played
Yeah,
on
you're
the
set up
Bottle
in the
strats.
bathroom.
Bottle strats,
You
dude.
just wear a diaper. It's fine. It's
Just
fine.
wear a diaper.
Yeah, you
Why
got
not?
to do that if you want to see the New Year's ball drop in New York City in person. Because you got to go so early.
That's so horrifying.
I hate it.
Everybody
Thanks,
there,
I hate it.
Everyone there is in a diaper.
Halo 2 though, we used to I was in like a Halo 2 clan, like with a bunch of like people that we played with locally, and we would do these LAN parties and we'd play Halo 2 for like 14-15 hours just like straight through the weekend, just like nothing but Halo 2, like super competitive, super high standard.
Yeah.
So yeah. those two for me in terms of like long stints. Now, like I'm lucky if I get more than like 4 straight hours to play a game now. That's like a long gaming session for me.
What's your pick going to be for this, Micah? I'm curious.
I don't know. There was that one time we played Minecraft for
That's
New
what I was
Year's.
thinking as well, but I don't know how long that really was. Was that like 12 hours?
It was pretty long. I remembered I tried to sleep and I couldn't, so I just got back up and played some more Minecraft. And I went into the Nether and just created a massive lava like waterfall landscape.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Just put lava everywhere.
It was actually very, very beautiful. Just lava
And
everywhere.
very dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous as well. I think we tried to build like a glass house underneath it as well. Something like that.
Glass and lava is always fun.
Yeah.
Oh man, my wife had a moment like that with Minecraft. When my wife first moved in with me, she was playing Minecraft. I remember I woke up, she was playing Minecraft. I went to work. When I came home, she was still playing Minecraft. I went to sleep. She was still playing Minecraft, and I woke up the next day and she was still playing Minecraft. So,
I mean,
yeah,
impressive.
It's a game you can do that in. Besides that, which I don't really know how long that was, but that was a long time. It has to be like our 12-hour and 24-hour like streams, but those weren't one game. We split it up. So if I'm thinking like single game, it's definitely Breath of the Wild, because I have done like 6+ hour streams of Breath of the Wild. And that's probably it. And it has been for streaming. I do not game like that in my day-to-day ever. I don't have the time. I'm amazed my wife lets me play for the streams to that extent. But yeah, like definitely the Chef of the Wild challenge. I had a couple 6-hour, 7-hour play sessions. And then just recently, the AI generated Zelda challenges, which will be a new YouTube video. Check out our YouTube channel, Nintendo Pals. That's what I'll pick. Gaming for 24 hours. And for this Extra Life event, we're going to be doing like a 12-hour straight stream. So that's going to be fun. I'm excited for that. We'll have more details on what we're doing at that as time gets closer. And hopefully Seth will be there. We can do some games with Seth in person.
So. That would be great.
Cool. That would be cool. Next question. Which Breath of the Wild power do you use the most and why? Mute Dog, you're still here in chat, right? Give some clarification on that one. Do you mean like which...
I think like the Sheikah Slate.
Yeah,
Sheikah Slate, I guess.
Rune?
Yeah.
Which rune?
Ruins, yeah. I couldn't think of what those were called.
Bombs.
Yeah, bombs.
I'm a speedrunner.
Sure. Chopping down those trees.
For me, bombs are the go-to for pulling BLSS glitch and also wind bombing. That's definitely the one I use the most. And just you're right, Mike. It also does quick tree chopping, enemy stuns. It has a lot of uses.
I guess casually, I really like. Is it just Magnesis, like the magnet one? Is that what it is?
Magnesis.
Yeah.
That's fun, like casually, because I like picking up like random junk and like just swinging it at like enemies, like picking up a big metal crate or whatever, you know.
And stacking things to try and get up to stuff. Magnesis is a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun messing around with stasis. Like I would try and break puzzles using stasis in my just casual playthrough. So like, oh, you need to bring this ball over to this pocket. Like, what if I stasis the ball and I
How about
aim?
no?
I aim and just launch it over to it. And most of the time, it would have been faster to just walk it by the time how many attempts it takes. But it's cooler.
But it was fun.
It was more fun that way, yeah. I think what you'll hear least favorite, or not least favorite, least used is Cryonis. Like, I think it's going to be the case every time.
Yeah, it's just too situational.
Yep. It's a good question. And finally, what is the best Mario Kart track of all time?
Oh, man. I really love Koopa Cape. Koopa Cape comes to mind, I think, immediately for me. Gosh.
I have a very hard time with this question.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I think I'm still gonna go with the what is it called? It's the Woohoo Island level.
Oh, right. That is a good one. Yeah. What's that? Is it in Double Dash? Is it just DK Mountain? Is that what it
So
is? It's just
DK Mountain is going to be mine. With like
yeah,
the
that's a
barrel
really
that
good
launches
one.
you up and that like
Mm-hmm.
bridge.
Yeah, that is a really good one. Yeah, that might be mine too. I don't know. That's a tough one, man.
I'm gonna say Maka Woohoo. That's my favorite level. I just love it. Is a ton of variety. It's not even Mario. It's Wii Sports. But it has everything I want in a Mario level. You know, you're driving through caves, you're going up a mountain range. There's like different sights to see, and then it like ends with the huge glider section where you're gliding from the top of the mountain down to, I think the Gulf Island, or it might be just down at the beach. I don't remember. Bring it
And then,
back, DLC, DLC. I would love
yeah,
that. Oh my gosh,
Chance.
it would bring Woohoo Island to the Switch, which
that'd
we
be
don't
sick.
have right now, and I think people would lose their minds, man. Do it, Nintendo.
Shout out to Sydney Sprint though, just for that music.
Sydney Sprint, hands down, the greatest soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a newcomer.
No question.
There's no question, though. It's the best music piece. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I almost put it in for like favorite track. I mean, the track is really good too.
It's a good track, yeah.
But I mean, the music is what really sells it for me. So, what answer are you going with, Micah? Are you going with the
DK Mountain, yo?
I might have to go with them on that. DK Mountain is really good.
Are you going with DK Mountain or DK Summit?
DK Mountain, you heathen.
Yeah, Mountain's the Double Dash one, right?
Probably, maybe.
Yes. Yes. Was Summit not in Double Dash? It's in the Wii for sure. Maybe it was new to that one. Why do they have two courses that are almost identical, but one is the winter?
I actually another one I really liked in Wii was Maple Treeway. I really like Maple Treeway. Yeah.
I also am a big fan of Mount Wario.
It's a good one
on the Switch. Yeah. I just like these. I like the ones where it is 3 segments. It's not 3 loops on a single track. Maka Woohoo is that. And I like the sense of like you've traveled on something very big, you know?
Right.
And like Mount Wario, you're starting up at the top of this mountain and coming down, and it ends in this like ski resort, like Olympics style looking stadium. I don't know. I just like
it's really good.
Both of those courses have very similar vibes. I'm realizing. So that's what I like.
You like what you like.
There you go. Great questions. Thank you so much to everybody who submitted questions for the Community Corner. You too, listener, can submit questions and topics for us to discuss. We love having them. So reach out. You can leave a comment on YouTube video. You can hit us up on Discord, any of our social medias. We got a bunch of questions from all over the place. Spotify, there's a section that you can leave a comment with what you'd like to see us talk about. Thank you to everybody who does that. And we have a lot of regulars that leave questions every week. We love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's move to the last segment of our show, and let's talk about the PAL topic. Alrighty, tonight's PAL topic is going to be a fun one. We are doing Dreamcasts, not the system, but dream casting, movie casting for other Nintendo movies. Each of us has been assigned a movie to take and cast. And I don't know, anybody like want to go first with what they've got? My list is still sort of forming as we speak, so I would like to not go first.
so
who
does everybody
male
have?
Actors?
Oh,
and I'm just going to randomly
actors.
guess names, like pull names as my choices, essentially.
I will be making a casting list, or I will be giving my casting list for Zelda, for a Zelda movie. Micah will be doing one for Metroid. And
Very
Seth
few people have to cast.
is doing one for Kirby.
Did
I
you
wanted-
know
I-
about this, or are you just learning what you're doing it for?
No. I learned about it. 10
like
minutes before we
5 minutes before we
Okay,
started
yeah.
recording.
The
Yeah,
same
that's
as
enough
me,
time.
essentially.
I told him before you, Micah, if that makes you feel worse.
Wow.
Yeah, you're welcome.
If that makes you feel worse.
Take that.
Okay, I'll go first.
All right, let's hear it.
So
I'm this is super loose. These aren't like, oh, this is the best person.
yeah.
For this is our opinions, and we just want to have discussion. And maybe like when someone gives a thought, I bet someone else will be like, oh, you know who would be good for that? So and so. You know, this would be fun.
So-
This would be fun.
So when it comes to Kirby, like
Chris Pratt.
Well, clearly Chris Pratt is everybody, right? When it comes to Kirby, I kind of like. I just want to have like the original like voice actress. Kirby shouldn't talk that much. You know, Kirby
Yeah.
should just say hi, and that's it. You know,
like right back at you. You know, the
Yeah.
cartoon. Like he didn't talk.
just let Kirby be Kirby. But when it comes to like some of the adjacent characters, all of them should talk, and they should all be voiced by actors. Especially like y'all know I love my Dedede. I have my little Dededes here. I love King Dedede, and I love the various voices King Dedede's had. I love the take of him on Right Back at Ya, where he's this weird like Texas oil baron or something.
yeah.
He's got this weird voice. I would actually really like to see like King Dedede be voiced by like a like a serious like actor, like a kind of like serious villain actor, although he has to have a little bit of like a comedic edge. He has to be able to sell comedy, because the thing about King Dedede is, yeah, he's a villain, yeah, he's Kirby's enemy, but like you can never take him like 100% seriously.
Mhm.
So it'd be kind of nice to get that take on him. I actually thought about James Spader, who is like he's like Ultron, and he was Robert California in The Office. His voice, like he can be a villain, but he can also be really, really funny.
Yeah.
I thought about him. Or
That's a good
like
pick.
if you wanted to get like really dumb with it, you could just give him like, you could have like Keith David. Keith David's one of my favorite voices just in general. And if you had Keith David is like Goliath in Gargoyles, for example.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
I didn't
gosh,
recognize the name, but yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I
He's
had
got
to
a
look him
great
up as well. I'm
voice.
like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
he would
for sure.
he would do great for that.
He's one of my favorite voices. And then I think about like, you know, I think a lot of people when it comes to voicing Meta Knight, they go for like an Antonio Banderas like kind of thing, you know.
That's who I was gonna say. Antonio
Yeah.
Banderas for Meta Knight, man. It's gotta be.
They go for that vibe with him, and I do like that. That would be fun. It just depends on like the take that they have with the movie. Like if they want to make him like a serious like villain, and I do think one thing I will say, whoever voices Meta Knight should also voice the like Galactonite, Morpho Knight, like the same, you know, voice actor for all of the different knights. Like you know, take that same actor and give it a different take with all of them. Yeah, in terms of who should do it though, like I just think about, and this is all stuff that's kind of like off the cuff. I think about just like the like good like villain actors. You know, I like people like Keith David that have those like deeper voices, deeper registers. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. When I'm trying to think of like good villains, like some of my favorite villains, you could have Josh Brolin, the guy who did Thanos.
No stealing my answers.
Yeah. The guy who did Thanos. That's just off the top of my head.
Who are you casting Josh Brolin as?
We'll get to that when we get to it.
Okay.
Josh Brolin is Samus, clearly.
Oh, yeah. That or Chris Pratt yet again.
Or yeah, the cop out answer would just be Chris Pratt for everybody.
What about Willem Dafoe?
You know,
oh no,
what?
that's
Willem
in mine.
Dafoe,
That's in mine.
Willem Dafoe would be kind of good. Yeah.
Willem
So
Dafoe, I just want in everything, man. He's the best. So
if that's my core like cast, if we were to do like Bandana Waddle Dee, I was thinking about Sean Astin, who's Sam in Lord of the Rings, like that he has that kind of like sidekick energy, you know.
Ever
I
since
don't
the
know.
Lord of the Rings.
He's resigned to
After
being a
playing the
sidekick the
ultimate
rest of his
sidekick.
life. Yeah, he does though. He has that kind of like friendly energy to him when he talks, and he also like, I'm
Sorry,
something of a Meta
Sam's
Knight myself.
Sam gets me with his comments in chat.
It's very good, very good. I would really like to see Willem Dafoe as Meta Knight.
I would like to
Oh
see
my gosh.
Willem Dafoe can play any
Oh,
character.
yeah, you can play
and I'll be
anyone.
like, oh yeah, that's who I want.
That's
Oh,
gonna
man.
be okay. That's my core cast. We're gonna do Kirby, original voice actress for Kirby. I'm gonna go with Willem Dafoe for Meta Knight. I'm gonna go with James Spader for Dedede and Keith David for oh gosh, who did I have Keith David voicing?
Wait, yeah.
Was he just maybe Keith David was just like another pick I had for Dedede?
I think he might have been.
Guess he
Yeah.
gets to be Bandana Waddle Dee.
He gets both. And Bandana Waddle Dee is Sean Astin.
Oh, that's right. These are good picks. These are good picks. I don't have
I
any.
had a lot of time to prepare.
I don't have any feedback on recasting.
Good.
Micah, you sound
Are
like you
sure
have your
you
list
don't want to
more
go
ready.
first?
You have your list more ready than me.
That doesn't sound right.
Oh, it should though.
Well, I guess for Samus, I'll go with Brie Larson because she has expressed
Yeah.
interest in playing Samus. So
And I feel like she would do a good job because essentially Captain Marvel is Samus.
is a very Samus-like kind of character.
I mean, yeah. I say what you will or how you feel about Captain Marvel as a character and how Brie Larson portrays Captain Marvel, but I think she's a good fit. I really do. I don't think that's a bad pick
Yeah.
at all.
Yep, and then I guess as Ridley, Andros was trying to tell me that Ridley will need to be talking in this movie,
Yeah,
which
he
he
does.
has only done in like manga. Apparently, has talked. I don't think in any of the games, but I was thinking I'd go with Josh Brolin for Ridley.
Wait,
Just
I
'cause
shouted.
I got
What did
no
I
reason.
shout Josh Brolin out for? I threw out like
Look-
17 actor names. I feel
Was
like
that
during
also
my-
DDD?
maybe
Like-
DDD's gonna have like 3 voices in my movie. All
It'll just change out every once in a while.
changes design, changes voice. Yeah.
And then for the baby Metroid, I was going to go with Vin Diesel because he did pretty good with Groot. And
I love that so much.
baby Metroid also not really going to have too many lines, just weird Vin Diesel noises, I guess.
Weird Vin. That's in the subtitles. Weird Vin Diesel noises.
Yeah, whenever the Metroid's making any sound. And then I guess I should pick one for Adam, although I have no idea who to pick for that. All I know about Adam is the little bit in Metroid Dread, which kind of spoilers. I might not know much about him as I thought I did, and I watched one cutscene from Other M that had Adam in it.
Wait, we talked about this one beforehand. I thought you were going to cast what's his name? Vision.
Oh, Paul Bettany.
Oh,
Paul Bettany.
Yeah.
I thought about
just,
it. Yeah,
Just Jarvis. Again.
yeah.
It's
If
just
it's
Jarvis again.
if it's just a like robot voice Adam, essentially, I'll go with Paul Bettany. But I don't know if this is real life, still alive.
who would play Ravenbeak? Asks Sam. Does
Um,
Ravenbeak talk?
Yes.
Ravenbeak, yeah. Idris Elba as Ravenbeak.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's good. I was about to go with
Dude.
Danny like Trejo, but no, that's much better.
Danny Trejo. You know what's funny though? I think when I think of Ridley's voice for some reason, I think of it as being like a kind of like Saturday morning cartoon, like snarly kind of voice. And like, I don't know, I think of like D. Bradley Baker, who he's like a voice actor that does all those like gross, like he does like Gravemind and Halo, you know? Like I get that kind of vibe from Ridley for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know who I like. Again, I was talking to Micah before, and I was like, do Benedict Cumbersnatcher bottom, Benedict Cumberpatch, because he did the Smog.
Smaug.
Oh yeah,
Smaug.
Smaug.
Oh man,
Benedict Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah.
Benedict.
He'd probably also do a pretty decent Ridley, but I still don't even know if I'd want a speaking Ridley in this game, or just random Ridley sounds.
Orson Welles as a Ridley. I love it.
All right. Well, I think that's a pretty good list, Micah. I think we got to come to my list now. So I gave you guys the assignment, which means I had even less time because that's when I came up with the idea, while still putting together the show notes. But I have some like solid has to be. Willem Dafoe has to be the Happy Mask salesman.
That's a really good pick, actually, for the Happy Mask salesman.
He just got to do it. Because he's got that, like, he can do the horrifying smile. and he also can just, like, he always plays these characters that are kind of like, well, I just think of him as, like, villainous, you know? He kind of has that vibe,
yeah.
like, he plays good villains. But the Happy Mask salesman is not a villain, but is, like, just a mysterious. And I feel like he would do that role so well. So well.
Yeah, that's actually a really, really good pick. Because and I feel like he would do it too. I feel like he's like attracted to those kind of like weirder, you know, kind of characters. I feel like he would do that.
Yeah, because I feel like he could come across as like really friendly, and then on occasion just put in that little bit of creepy factor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just I mean I don't even know if Happy Mask Salesman will be in a live action Zelda.
I was gonna say, is this a Majora's Mask adaptation?
It could be Ocarina of Time. He's in that too.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
but I don't know which Zelda movie to make. I'm just picking some characters that I'm like, oh, this would be a good pick. Okay, so I feel like you gotta have Ian McKellen as the old man or King of Hyrule, whoever. He's got to be in there because that's just his job to be the wise bearded man. But he's kind of a skinny guy too. So where like the king is usually a bigger guy.
He's a
maybe
bigger man.
Maybe not a good pick.
What's that guy? Is it Ian McShane? Ian McShane is his name came to mind for like a king kind of vibe.
Yeah, Ian McShane is.
Yeah, this is who I'm thinking of.
I could see that.
Yeah, he's got a cool voice.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You gotta have the right voice. And then another pick I've got, I want Oscar Isaac to play Ganondorf.
Okay.
I was a little out there of a pick, but I feel like he is such a versatile actor.
Mm-hmm.
And I just picture him with like the Ganondorf beard, and he, at least in Moon Knight, he had this like angry side that he showed that I think would just translate really well to a Ganondorf character. Either that, or I saw someone recommended Idris Elba for that role as well. But I don't feel like Idris Elba's like really as built to play that character live action, because am I remembering him wrong? He's not like an extremely.
He's not. Yeah, I mean, like he's in good shape, but he's not like he's not.
Oscar
big.
Isaac isn't that big, is he?
I feel like for Moon Knight, he was pretty ripped, but maybe that's mostly
Well,
CG
and-
costume.
and he also, I mean, you could put him in like a suit or whatever, but he does have, I agree, he's got that physicality. You can see it in his face, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's why I want to. Now here's maybe an off pick here that I think would also do really well in that role, but I don't think the voice will work. Who knows? But Daniel Radcliffe.
I thought you were gonna say Danny DeVito. I thought you were gonna say Danny DeVito.
No. Daniel Radcliffe as Ganondorf.
That'd be cool.
If you look at a picture of him like now, like adult Daniel Radcliffe with beard, he's got the like striking like nose and jawline that would just and I can picture him getting like super big and mean for that role, and I just feel like he would do a really good job with that. And he's like taking all sorts of weird stuff. You see,
he loves doing that.
Yeah, he's doing he's Weird Al. And in the trailers, he's jacked. He like it shows him shirtless, and I was like, maybe he'd be a good pick.
Maybe Weird Al is going to be
like
Ganon.
A little short for Ganondorf, though.
Make Weird Al himself Ganon. Just do that.
There
Cast
you
Weird
go.
Al. Yeah.
And then for Link, obviously we're gonna cast myself as Link. I mean, I don't think it's cop out. I think it's a great answer, great pick. But if we don't pick me, then we got to pick my twin brother, Thomas Brody Sangster.
Pretty sure.
Who's that?
It's the guy in Maze Runner, right? Newt.
Yep.
What was his name again?
Thomas Brody.
Thomas Brody Sangster. You'll recognize
he
him
looks
right
very
away.
young all the time.
Yeah.
No, I don't look like Thomas Brody Sangster. I've had people say that I do, but
I could kind of see
it. You don't
it.
particularly look too unlike him.
Oh, see.
Oh yeah, he was the kid from Love Actually. Yeah, it's weird to see him grown up. Yeah,
he was in Star Wars.
It's weird to see him with facial hair.
A throwaway character. Yeah,
you know,
so I think he's just one of those characters that would do well because he doesn't age. The dude's, I think he's 32. He's 32. You wouldn't believe that.
That dude, you saying Star Wars reminded me, but that dude Cameron Monaghan who plays Cal Kestis, he could be a pretty good Link in a Jedi Fallen Order. Plays the main character of that. I could see him being a decent Link. Yeah, Cameron Monaghan, I think. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that the Fallen Order character was a real person. They just made him look exactly like him.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
He was also Joker. He was a really good Joker in Gotham. He's really good.
Yeah, I just feel like he doesn't look young enough. Because the thing with Link is like Link doesn't have a very defined jawline. He's got kind of like just the boyish face, you know, in everything, and this guy has a pretty striking jawline.
He does have a
Thomas Brody Sangster does
who to
not.
cast as Groose?
That's the real question.
Oh no, I didn't cast.
That's the
Groose.
real question.
You didn't cast Groose?
No, my list ends here because I ran out of time. But
Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise.
The cruise is loose. Yeah.
Yes.
Or just Jason Statham, but they give him a wig.
Jason Statham. Who's that?
You know who Jason Statham is?
But don't change his voice at all. He still has that really Cockney accent. Keanu Reeves as Groose.
Oh, I forgot. I was gonna add in Keanu Reeves somewhere, because your movie has to have Keanu Reeves at this point in time.
That's true. Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart as Groose.
Just kidding.
Kevin Hart as Ganon.
A very interesting take on Ganon.
Yeah, Kevin Hart's like 5 foot tall, so that would be interesting.
Yeah, Groose has to be a really tall and just goofy, lumbery guy, but also has to be fairly young. And I just can't think of like a good pick for that. Nothing is coming to mind. The Rock.
The Rock.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson is Groose. The role of a lifetime. He wouldn't be a bad Ganon in terms of like the physicality of it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be.
Get the most jacked Ganon yet, I think.
Yeah. Oh, you know what would actually be a pretty solid Ganon is Batista. He'd be a good Ganon.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I don't know
Dave
who that is
Bautista?
either. Man, I'm so
Drax?
bad with names.
How dare
From
you?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Drax.
Yep. He'd be a solid. I could see that.
I'm looking at like young actors now to see if we can find a good Groose to pair with me. You know, gotta be close to my age.
What's that one
Yeah.
guy that has mildly Will Poulter?
Will
He's
Poulter.
real tall.
This is just a series of us Googling actors, isn't it?
I know, that's what I'm doing on the side here. Will Poulter?
He's relatively
Oh,
young.
Is this the dude from he would
known for
actually
his
be a
eyebrows.
really good Groose.
He would,
He
yeah.
would-
I'm looking at
He
this
would
picture.
actually be a really good Groose.
All right, Micah got it. That's nailed it.
Such a good call. Yeah, Micah nailed it.
All right, and then I probably the last one here, Zelda. I don't know who to cast as Zelda. A lot of the casting just is.
I think the Tom Hardy as Ganon is a really good call there,
I'm
Sam.
gonna say
see
as
that too.
Zelda. Tom Hardy.
Tom
as
Hardy
Zelda.
as Zelda.
Oh,
yeah,
let's
for sure.
do it.
I think the obvious, like the Anya Taylor-Joy, who they have as Peach in the Mario movie, would also just be a good Zelda. I feel like,
Yeah.
She's Queen's Gambit.
Yes.
You know,
Okay, yeah.
She would be a good Zelda.
Or you put in what's her name? Man, I gotta look up name. Gotta look up names in order to find any. Zendaya.
Oh,
She's just in everything right now, so just put her in as Zelda. I don't feel like she's a good fit for Zelda since Zelda is super blonde.
it would be hard to picture, but hear me out, because I've never seen her in like blonde or anything like that. But I think my favorite female actress just in general is Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and I think she was like the main character of like 10 Cloverfield Lane, and I think she has like, she can be very like graceful, but she can also be very like in the action moments and like the sort of like when the chips are really down and she has to like really act and she's involved in things. I think she could really pull that off. She really has like those eyes for it. Yeah, and Sam makes a good point here too.
Yeah. Third Strongest Mole says really depends on which Zelda. She varies a lot more than Link between games. Twilight Princess Zelda would need to be very different actor from the Skyward Sword Zelda. Angela Lansbury,
yeah.
Who is that?
Murder She Wrote Zelda.
I'm looking up
Yeah.
all these names.
Why? I should have known, Ninfrendo. I should have known. I walked into this one. No, what's the actress that plays Mary Poppins? She'd probably do good.
Which Mary Poppins?
The new Mary Poppins, not the
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
I feel like she's too old though. Emily,
you are right.
Yeah, I think honestly, if it were, it would probably either be like Anya Taylor-Joy, or it would probably be like Amelia Clark, like Daenerys from Game of Thrones. Like it would probably be like, like her.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it would be like a TV actor come to the big screen, I think, because there's not a lot of like big ticket name young actresses right now that fit this bill. I mean, we talked about Zendaya, but I don't think she would really fit for that role. There you go. Not a very exciting ending to this, but but it was fun. I liked doing it. So if you're out there listening, let us know what your picks are for casting these different movies. I really want to see a world where Willem Dafoe is the Happy Mask Salesman and Meta Knight.
yes, Yes,
so great.
please.
Well, as we close up here with the show, Seth, we'll give you a chance here one more time. You want to plug your stuff?
Oh man, I'm kind of doing a lot of things. It occurs to me now. So so my main podcast is All In, a Nintendo podcast. That's at All In Podcast on all of the things. It's a weekly Nintendo variety show that I do with my good friend Eric, and we cover all kinds of different facets of being a Nintendo fan. I do a show called Keep Nintendo Weird sporadically. We'll be doing a new episode of that very soon. And that's just a weird Nintendo podcast about loving weird Nintendo games. I do 2 exclusive podcasts on Patreon, patreon.com/allinpodcasts. And now I'm part of Carpool Gaming. And I'm one of the 3 co-hosts of the Nintendo Drive. So that happens on all the podcast feeds. You can just search the Nintendo Drive, but also youtube.com/carpool gaming, where you can find us there. We'll be doing our first episode Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Central. That's going to be kind of our stream times. Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central. We'll be doing the Nintendo Drive every week with my great friend Sean Capri, who's been on this show, and Lockleth, who should be on this show. Y'all should have Lockleth on sometime.
We should have Lockleth on, for sure. Lockleth is welcome anytime.
She's great, man. I can't wait for people to meet her, because like everybody, like I've been on the Nintendo Drive several times. They know me, they know Sean. I'm really excited for people to get to know Lockleth. She's awesome.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Seth. It's been awesome. If you want to check out Seth's stuff, all links to the many works of Seth will be in the description of the episode, so you can quick find them. But if you want to follow us, you can also check out the description, where we'll have links to our social medias, because we are very active on YouTube, Discord, less so on TikTok, but we're picking back up on TikTok, Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on all the socials. But yeah, YouTube's our big push right now. Please help us hit 1,000 subscribers. We're still trying to do that we have 2 channels. We have the Nintendo Pals channel, which is focused on gaming and streaming content. And then we have the Nintendo Pals podcast channel, which is dedicated to the podcast and live reactions, along with maybe some game reviews here and there. So that's primarily podcast news stuff. And then our gaming stuff is on our main channel with Nintendo Pals. And while you're at it, maybe you'll find our secret 3rd channel, the VOD channel, where you can watch Twitch VODs that no longer exist because Twitch deletes them and is lame. Yeah, we'll talk about this in Pals Plus for sure, because there's news there. But we don't have time for that here. This is the end of the episode, and we got to shout out our Patreon supporters through the Pokey Rap, the Patreon Pokey Rap, and we will kick that off right now. We got to rap some Patreon.
You just do the singing. I'll take care of the hard part.
Let's get it on.
We want to be the best that ever was, and shout out our pals over on Patreon.
LPD, Rizzle, Retrologic Day, U-Dog Gamer, Slim Tor, Spanish, and Solo Something, Brian, Little Miss 7, and Cosmic.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all, Patreon.
K-Mac and Team, Third Strongest One, Tim the Nintendo Daddle, and Seth Sturgill, Monkey Thunder, Purple Biola, Dat Fast John, and Bubba Plays 2.
Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all, Patreon. Let's get 150 or more, yeah, please. To be a Patreon donor is your destiny.
Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for listening, and we will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.